Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Good Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. If you do miss something, remember you can get caught up all 3 hours to be posted upon the conclusion of the program on iTunes and in our own audio vault. Email the show if you like. It's jcs@979espnradio.com. Find me on Twitter at jcameronshow. WTSM app good for mobile devices. So doesn't matter if that's iPhone, Android. You're all good to go. On YouTube, hello, YouTubers. Hope you're well today. As if I didn't wish everybody well right at the beginning. It's like an exclusive group there, the YouTubers.
I don't always wish YouTubers well, but today I do.
Yeah, so ESPN Tallahassee on YouTube, Periscope at 979 ESPN Radio on Twitter. That's where you go there. Florida State victorious. You'll hear from Willie Taggart in the Mountain Dew coaches interview coming up here in about 10 to 12 minutes or so. We'll turn it over there. I talked to Willie quite a bit this morning, little 10-plus minute interview. Talked to him off the air as well. I want to say something I think that's interesting about what he does there. You know, the guy that you've seen in these press conferences that has remained calm and is sort of all about building on, each individual's success and changing the culture and all that stuff. He's that way off the air too. So very genuine, at least in the sense of the guy that's on the sidelines this past Saturday if you watched that game, you went back and watched it. Say you were in attendance. And then you went back and watched it on the was it on ESPNU? What was it on?
ESPNU eventually.
Yeah.
But the Ohio-Cincinnati game took forever.
Well, if you went back and watched this game, one of the things you saw was just how involved he was in the actual coaching. And what I mean by that is guys coming to the sideline and him putting his hand on their helmet and talking to them about situational football, what he needs, good or bad. It didn't matter, but you saw that. And I appreciate that for one. To me, that goes an awful long way. It also shows that you're willing to perhaps, at least on game day as is needed, kind of strip away the layers of play calling responsibility solely and involve yourself in the teaching aspects of the game, especially when your team is fragile, especially when your team is lacking in confidence or guys need to hear from a coach. You saw that a lot this week, and I think almost more than any other game this year. When I went back and watched, that's what I saw. And then, in addition, obviously they got off to a good start. They haven't yet gotten off to a good start in a single game this year. It's tough when you're lacking confidence and you're always playing from behind and you feel the weight of that moment. You feel the weight and the pressures of needing something to happen. So when you go down the field, and I'll grant you get a little bit of good fortune early on with a couple of tip balls and all that stuff, but they were moving the football consistently and they were playing at a good pace. And so right off the bat, 13-plus plays and then 8 plays plus drive, and you end up with a couple of scores. It's just nice to play from in the lead for once. Somebody tweeted at me a halftime lead. Haven't seen, I forgot what it was like. Yeah, agreed. It's nice, even when you've got some mistakes and some things to clean up and some worries or concerns about elements of your team. It's a lot easier to discuss those things, deal with those things, after a win than it is after a loss. And certainly, if you're talking about halftime adjustments, much easier to do that when you're not under the gun. You have an actual 2-score lead. So this was much different than they looked, say, against Syracuse, where nothing could go right, and they looked absolutely discombobulated. Here there was a modus operandi, if you will, and they were determined in this football game to run it. They did not meet with great success running the football, but their dedication to it, I thought, opened up a lot in the passing game as well. It also ensured, Tom, that they weren't going to be constantly in 2nd and 14, 3rd and 11. I'll grant you, they weren't peeling off huge gains on first down, but, 2nd and 8, 3rd and 5, these are manageable down and distance situations, and thus they converted more.
Yeah, I fully agree with the sentiment that you said that, you could talk about things we need to tweak after a win, and it just feels so much better.
Oh, man.
The pressure is off, and not every word has to be under a microscope. And for me, there was a toughness to us on Saturday, I thought, on both sides of the ball. The second half, offensively, we fell back into some things that we've seen the first 3 weeks of the season, and that was annoying. But overall, I thought there was a better toughness everywhere, mentally, physically. The defense had a few moments where you go, woo, okay, he was playing for keeps there on that play.
Yeah.
The offensive line early on was something we talked about on the Tallahassee Game Day pregame show. Just line up and charge off the ball. Hit somebody, find somebody, engage. And it looked like the O-line had really received that message week to week. Mental toughness, Willie was all over it all day long. Even when we made mistakes, he was on top of the people that made mistakes. He called a huge timeout at the end of the first half to allow for the 50-yard field goal try, where you can get lost. A lot of coaches do.
Especially in frustration, yeah.
In the chaos of a moment where there's a high snap and a scramble for the football and the clock is ticking and, oh, bleep, I got to call a timeout. I got to go find an official. He was all over it in that moment. When we had issues with substitutions, when we had to call a timeout, delay games, they still happened. I'm not happy about that. But he would throw his headset to the ground. I mean, he's
involved, man.
He'd go to the bench and talk to different segment groups after every drive, offensively or defensively. There was a really hands-on approach that he had, and it permeated, I think, down to both sides of the football, playing with a greater level of toughness. So do we still have issues? Yes, but I like the starting point of saying we looked tougher than we have the first 3 weeks.
Growth and confidence. You're not going to you're not going to just fly the flag of dominance after a win over Northern Illinois that was in doubt in the second half. No. But progress, yes, and we'll talk to Willie about it in the Mountain Dew coaches interview here coming up. I'll revisit Florida State throughout the show. Of course I will. But it was a great weekend. A lot of stuff went on in this weekend that first of all, if you stayed up and watched the Stanford-Oregon game and the bizarre ending, what a way to lose a football game for Oregon. It defies logic. Helped me because I had Stanford -2, but it was crazy.
The pylon got you, Yeah. 31-7.
Yeah, just a bizarre game, man. And so anyhow, you saw that game. You saw Alabama really was in a position in the second half to name their score against Texas A&M. I'm telling you, I mean, again, every week I watch Alabama, there's nobody that reveals themselves to be anywhere close. Not Clemson, not anybody. Speaking of Clemson, they now go to Lawrence as their starting quarterback. Miami went into N'Kosi Perry. That may not be good for us. Malik Rozier is terrible. I was hoping they would just stick with him, but they didn't. He may have figured something out there, almost by accident with Mark Richt making that move. And so, that happened. Tennessee has the hang-up that they just can never get over with 4 turnovers in the first half against Florida. That game's never competitive because of it. And so it is. They move on. There weren't a huge amount of wrinkles there. You saw Wisconsin's comeback against Iowa. That's a terrible, tough place to play at night, man. That's a big win for them because I'm telling you, Iowa, you don't want to play that team at night on the road.
No, there were 2 teams that left buildings late at night on Saturday in the dead of night. Stanford and Wisconsin. They got the hell out of Dodge with a victory. Stanford was
still thinking about how that happened.
If it's not for Stanford, you look at the Wisconsin finish and you say, well, how did Wisconsin come out of that game with a victory? Iowa had a lot of game control, if you will.
They did, yeah.
And Wisconsin walked out of there. But the Stanford thing that's just hilarious. I mean, I'm sorry. As a Knoll and seeing all of the Willie Taggart signs in College Game Day that they got up bright and early to do, the weight of the world, man, because their shoulders must be tired from holding up those signs for 3 hours. And now they got to carry this burden for a long – you're not going to soon forget that. It's 31-7, except it's not. First and goal at the 1, and 2 plays later, you got a snap that's returned to the hizzy.
Scoop and score, and oh my.
It was kind of like the review against Clemson. Remember this, 2014?
Oh, yeah. And then
we're like, well, what's the difference? They're going to score. Oh, there's a big difference.
There's always a difference there, man. You live to fight another play, and coaches always talk about that, right? No matter the situation, you just keep on fighting. You don't know what's going to happen. A guy could snap a ball over somebody's head, and next thing you know, the game changes. It's on its head, just
Eddie
like
Goldman
that.
Scares a center by
Boom.
Jumping off sides.
Plows into him, so get you some of that.
Right.
That's lying in wait next, yeah, and then that happens. The story of the weekend, bizarrely enough, wasn't the NFL, which featured another Dolphins win. They moved to 3-0. Tonight, the Bucs with an opportunity against the Steelers. We're going to be watching that at Bumpus Local 349 watch party. Come on out. It's cheaper than you get a big old rack of ribs for less than $13 plus a side. They've got beer specials, drink specials, all that stuff. I'll tell you more about it as the show goes on. Story of the weekend was Tiger Woods, and it shows you how powerful that is. If you were watching the scene play out at East Lake yesterday, win number 80 for Tiger Woods in his career, approaching Sam Snead's all-time record. And, by the way, Sam Snead was 47 years old when he won his 80th PGA Tour title, which is remarkable to think. Woods is 42, currently got plenty of time. And moreover than that, he's now 43 of 45 in his career and converting a 54-hole lead. Now, you think about that. You can bring up every stat in the world about how he doesn't come from behind. Why? I don't have to. if I have the lead on a Saturday, that's your ass on a Sunday. I mean, that's remarkable.
You heard of Mariano Rivera?
I mean, that is
He's a punk.
Yes. First win in 1,876 days. 118 players won on the PGA Tour between the time Tiger Woods won yesterday and his previous tour victory. He has the most all-time for tour championship victories.
The Cleveland Browns had won 5 games in between Tiger. I'm joking, maybe not, but yeah.
Yeah, I just, the thing I thought about, and I don't want to prattle on, people have overcome much worse. And people have had near-death experiences, cancer survivors, all these different things, and come back to be champions in all walks of life and sport. We know that.
James Conner playing tonight for the Steelers.
That's
what
right,
an amazing story that is.
But I will say, even though it's self-inflicted, I pretty much, if you're not just a hardcore criminal doing evil unto others, I'll root for you to shake your demons and come back.
Perkins wants to put something on the table.
Excited to be here.
I root for people. I root for redemption stories. I root for people to come back from, self-inflicted or not, from mistakes, egregious as they may be. And I really have enjoyed this because you and I commented right from the beginning that seemed like a different guy. And then there was evidence that maybe he was a different guy. He was much more contrite, a lot of appreciation and gratitude washed over his face with each passing tournament. You thought, maybe it's real. Maybe he's turning it around.
Well,
then you got word on tour that the players said he was different and eminently more likable and all that stuff. Then the behind-the-scenes things. I mean,
well, and yesterday he was kind of leaking oil down the stretch. He made it interesting. 18 is a really easy hole against a par 5 average. So you're thinking, all right, as long as he doesn't double 17. But the fact that he's only up 2 with 2 to play, you're going, God, Tiger, don't do this. Don't do this.
Yeah, don't fall pieces. Yeah. He said afterwards when the fans were going nuts and following him down the fairway there at the end, which was a surreal set of circumstances. I don't know. I mean, there was a moment where I actually got nervous for him. I was like, the fans were going crazy. But he said, I could have bladed that sucker off into OB, and where would we have been? I'm like, does he really think things like that? I mean,
apparently he did.
It cracked me up. But what an amazing scene! And now the Ryder Cup, one of our favorite events. Which, Tom, I'm going to tell you now, we're going to get boat raced.
I'm worried about this.
Yeah, I think you feel what I feel, right?
Well, if the stroke play trends have anything to say about how this Ryder Cup is going to play out.
Appreciate you plus 13, Phil. Thanks for the plus 11, Bubba. Patrick, how's that plus 9 rolling there, man? I mean, what in the world was going on with half this Ryder Cup team?
No, you need to sit half of them,
Well, Phil doesn't need to see the course. Phil, go get some sandwiches.
He could be in the golf cart.
You go get some sandwiches,
He's
Phil.
got
These
the
guys are going
earpiece
to be
in.
hungry out here.
He's communicating on the earpiece to Captain Furyk.
Yeah, Phil, get your bra on and let's go. Make some sandwiches. Let's go.
Can we have like a Rodney Dangerfield? Ooh, my arm. And then Jim Furyk can play instead. Anybody.
I mean, it was
Johnny Miller, come on down.
I think so. Johnny's tough.
Listen here, you sons of...
Yeah, but that was okay. It was the story of the weekend. The other story of the weekend is greatest against the point spread. If you care about these things, some people do. Upset the NFL has seen since 2000, and I think it's the second greatest since 91, which was the Vikings losing at home to the listless Buffalo Bills, who couldn't beat anybody else in this league on any given day, and yet they not only win, but hammer the Vikings, which, what are we doing
in
here?
that building?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the Jags can't ever beat the Titans. No matter how good they are, they can't beat the sorry-ass Titans, who are awful. Mariota looked awful when he came in. The team's terrible. 9-6.
I'm sure Jalen Ramsey was a pleasure to be around yesterday.
Well, listen, he's got to stare back over at that guy under center and be like...
He's going to be liking some more Bortles hate tweets. Has somebody checked his likes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're everywhere right about now. Tonight, as I mentioned, Bucks, Steelers, Monday Night Football. Looking forward to watching that with you guys. Come on out. Bumpa's Local 349, the old CJ's. And like I said, drink specials, $3 domestics, $5 craft beer drafts. We've got a giant rack of ribs, if that's your thing, or a half rack.
Yeah, that's right. Giant rack of ribs for $12.95, a half rack for $8.95, and a side, so that means you score some Sprouts, folks.
Well, you got to explain that. because people are like, sprouts, I don't want sprouts with my ribs.
Okay, well, the Brussels sprouts that they
They're
have
insane.
there, they are fried, delicious.
Yeah, I'm sure that takes away all the actual nutritional value, but it is fantastic.
It makes them as good as the Buccaneers offense is right now.
And let's see if that continues to work its magic tonight. Speaking of which, Fitz getting the start tonight, of course. This the last game. Jameis is suspended, but if he continues to play well, Jameis will have to sit over there and be a cheerleader, which I think he'd like to do, if only because it means the Bucs are continuing to win football games. And that's his boy. They're like dear friends, so it's a good thing. Later in the show, Lee DeKemper, JoeBucksFan.com, going to join us in the 4 o'clock hour to discuss tonight's Monday night game against the Steelers. Steelers will come in playing desperate, though, and they get a great secondary to go up against to do it, meaning they should be able to produce a lot of yardage, a lot of big downfield plays against the Bucs secondary,
A little bit vulnerable, yeah.
It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Whether you're a professional athlete, casual player, or simply enjoy watching the game on those hard bleachers, any physical activity takes its toll on the body. Athletes require superior amounts of flexibility, speed, coordination, and strength to perform, and they know that treating aches and pains with their chiropractor early is critical to getting back into the game. At HealthSource, our goal is to keep you healthy and playing at the top of your game, whether it's professional sports or simply making it through the work week pain-free. Our team is dedicated to your health, but your aches and pains will never go away if you don't come in and see us. Give us a call today, 877-8980. Health Source. Don't settle for just treatment. Let us care for you.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the law office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the law office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
An eager young FSU marketing major came into Poor Paul's the other day and told me what a genius he thought I was for all the great specials we have, like the $2.95 top shelf liquor drinks on Wednesday and Friday nights, the free ladies drinks on Tuesday nights, the free Gumby's pizza with $4.95 pitchers every Sunday and Monday nights, not to mention all of the free beer winners we have on the Wheel of Fortune all day, every day. This guy asked me if I'd majored in marketing, and I told him I had, but what I didn't tell the poor guy was that in 4 years, I didn't learn a damn thing in any of my classes. You see, there was this girl I got to know named Bunny who, let's just say, was working her way through school, who sold a great product, cheap, with a smile, and as a result had hundreds of happy customers. And except for that little red light in her window, all her advertising was simply word of mouth. So I didn't worry about all those charts and graphs and formulas. I knew all I needed were the Bunny marketing methods. Sell good stuff, cheap, with a smile. And just like at Bunny's, Poor Paul's always has lots of happy customers wanting to spend their money. And that's why that poor kid thought I was so smart.
Wahoo Seafood Grill, Tallahassee's leader in fresh seafood, is located right behind the Best Western on North Monroe. Lunch specials start at $7.99. Be sure to try their award-winning house-made burger. Big lunch parties are also welcome. Wahoo Seafood Grill makes lunch specials a very affordable choice. Delivery is available and plenty of parking. Wahoo Seafood Grill, easy access from any part of town using I-10. Visit them online at wahooseafoodgrill.com or call them today at 850-629-4059.
Tap into your inner eagle and spread your wings with Yingling Traditional Lager. A bold amber color, near 200 years in the making, all-American brew. So plug in, rock out, and let the night take flight. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. Spread my wings and let it ride. DJ Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina. And presented by Hobbit American Grill and Mike's Marine Supply.
Ugh, can you please turn on the AC?
Welcome to Florida, honey. It's freaking hot.
I think I know how it feels to be hot. I was born here.
Hi, this is Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. High temperatures can cause that chip in your windshield to crack and spread, impacting your car safety and visibility. With Florida Full Coverage Insurance, windshield replacement is free, so choose the local company you know and trust. Seminole Auto Glass, 850-539-4527 or at SeminoleAutoGlass.com, because no one takes care of your car like Seminole Auto Glass.
Yo ho ho ho, the Bucks are 2-0. Oh, hey. Sorry, I didn't see you there. That's right. The Fitzmagic train is something else. Come join the fun. Bucks and Steelers alike. This Monday night at Bumpus Local 349, Capital Circle Northeast. We'll be watching Monday Night Football. Join Bumpus' fantastic food and ice-cold drinks. Get a full rack of ribs and a side for just $12.95 or a half rack and a side for $8.95. Enjoy $3 domestics and wells, $5 drafts and calls, and plenty more. All while catching all the action on Bumpus' big screen televisions. They're everywhere. It's a JCS Bucks watch party, and it's this Monday night at Bumpus Local 349. We'll see you there.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
This ain't the heartache that I thought I knew.
All right, welcome back. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio and Sirius XM. ESPNU Channel 84. We're joined by the head football coach at Florida State. Willie Taggart gets a win this weekend over Northern Illinois. Good week for you, Coach. I thought the team responded to your message. First of all, congrats on the win. And secondly, that's about as good a start in a first half as you could have hoped for coming out of this week, right?
Oh, absolutely. But I know for me personally, I saw it coming throughout practice. Our guys came to practice and with a different sense of urgency and committed to practicing the way that we needed to, and it paid off the way they came out and executed, and not only executed, they did it consistently enough for us to get down the field and finish drives. And you think about games in the past where we made plays here and there, and then we stub our toe with a penalty here or turn the ball over or something to ourselves, and our guys played consistently enough on those first two drives. And the third drive was going well, and then we fumbled the ball there, and that was critical.
Yeah, you get off to a great start. It's 13 plays down the field, 70-plus yards, followed by 8 plays, same thing. I think sometimes, Coach, and I wonder what your thoughts are on this, just seeing a result, something that shows some success, something that gives them a measure of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I thought at that point you saw a group that looked like they were playing with a sense of belief.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And I think our guys have been really real with themselves over the last few games and understanding that they have to play better than what we had been playing in, and they talked among themselves and they came out and gave a lot more than what they had been given, and it paid off for us. And we got to continue to do that each and every week and continue to focus on us and just getting better at those things that we're struggling at.
You look at some of the results here. Clearly, you wanted to run the football. That's obvious. And you look at the total yards per play, 5.3 for Florida State. That number, Coach, I know we only measure it by our own. We look inward, but it's better than what Iowa did against that defense. It's better than what Utah did against that defense. My point, I guess, being for those listening, is that this Northern Illinois team does have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to be buoyed by that. 5.3 yards per play, a step up against a good defense.
Oh, absolutely. And I thought our O-line did a good job of coming out and being physical and trying to establish an identity of what we want to be. And I think that really helped us, especially there late in the game when we got another touchdown on the post route. But I think a lot of that came off of us being committed to the run and them having guys down there. So we got to be able to do that and understand we can continue to get better at all those things. But that's got to be who we are and trying to set an identity as a football team, and it was good for our guys to go out there and start that process.
winning some on first down, Coach. I'm just curious. What you ran 54 plays in the first half. This was the fastest we've seen the pace for Florida State yet. And at one point last week, you thought, well, maybe we have to slow it down, but you didn't slow it down here. Obviously, look at the total plays. You look at the plays just in the first half alone. You had more pace, not less pace.
Well, I tell you, we did a great job of converting on third down, and that allowed us to continue drives and get more plays in there. And again, especially early in the first half, for us to play consistent and get those first downs, it played a big part of us having that many plays in the first half. So as long as we can execute, and I tell you, the thing is, like you said, on first down, we did a better job of executing and not being behind the sticks, and that is so critical for us.
Obviously, you preached about being more physical and more disciplined. You got that in the first half. There was some sloppiness in the second half we'll get to, but let's look at the other side of the ball. I just quoted Florida State's offensive numbers for yards per play. You held Northern Illinois to 3.6 yards per play for the game. You completely shut down their running game. They want to run the football. I thought that while the defense has played pretty well this year, it was more physical this weekend.
It was. And Coach Barnett challenged those guys, and we knew coming in they were going to run the ball, and he challenged them to try to shut it down, and our guys did a great job holding them to 6 yards of rushing, and to me that's really good football when you can stop the run and make a team one-dimensional. That's when things can be really fun for you, and that was good for our defense to be able to not only accept that challenge but go out there and take advantage of it.
In one way, Coach, the game can be considered in a weird way a coach's dream because you got something where you can hang your hat on some successes and a win, of course, but also, as I just alluded to, it was sloppy in the second half, and those are coachable moments. Those are moments for you to look at the film and say to those guys, this gets us beat against somebody better. Your thoughts on that second half were a little frustrating.
It was, because you go into the first, you see the first half and the way you're capable of playing, and I think we had one penalty going into halftime.
Yeah.
And then to come out the second half and just play sloppy and turn the ball over like we did was, again, that's not playing winning football. And our guys, that's something we preach. We work on ball security daily, and again, it's got to be important to guys when they have that ball to take care of it. And then when it comes to the penalties, the ones that frustrate you and just can't happen is the selfish penalties. Those penalties that happen pre-snap and things that you can control, you can't have those things. And our guys got to understand that. And if you do it, you can't play. So we gotta be better and play smart, winning football. And I think that's probably our biggest thing right now is to focus on playing winning football.
Couple things that you had to be encouraged by. First of all, Ricky Aguayo. Need him to make some kicks, obviously, and he was great in this game. It looked like the guy from last year. So it's good to see him get confidence back. And then also, you talked after the game, Coach, about, I guess, teammate interaction and how improved it was and how supportive they were and how each guy understands, look, I may not be getting the ball the way I want to in this game, but it'll come if I keep doing what I'm supposed to do. Obviously, Terry ends up with the big play. Just your thoughts on the overall camaraderie of this team, having gone through some turmoil early in the season. Where are they at collectively?
They're tight. They're tight. I mentioned it earlier. My guys met as a team and kind of put it on themselves and say, enough is enough. It's time for us to go out there and prepare the way we need to and hold each other accountable to practicing like we need to and doing all the things we need to. And it paid off in practice. I mean, they came to practice last Tuesday, and it was the energy and enthusiasm was like it was before we started the season. And then guys was getting ticked off when the ball was on the ground, when they dropped the ball or something, and that was exciting as a coach. I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? And then I found out later that's something they talked about, and it was really fun to see. And guys that moped around before, they weren't moping around. They came with a purpose, practice with a purpose, and it paid off. And then on Saturdays, when you get a lot of frustration, when things aren't going well, everybody wants to play. Those things happen, and it had been happening to our football team. And Saturday, you didn't see it nowhere. And I was looking for those guys that normally do it, and those are the guys that was encouraging the others, but also going out and making plays for us. And you mentioned Terry; he could have easily been ticked off because he hadn't got many catches up to that point, and he was he was locked in. He was blocking for his teammates, and then when we called to play for him, he was ready. And to me, that's what it takes. And our guys understand. And that's been one of the goals for us, is to play for each other and play for your teammates and become better teammates. And they're working on it.
Were you worried at all? I'll tell you why. Players-only meetings are notorious, right? I mean, they can go one of two ways. That can get pretty ugly in a hurry. And it also can do what it apparently did here. But as a coach, you hear about a players-only meeting. Sometimes those are encouraged by coaches, and sometimes those are things that your players do on their own completely, and you think, well, now where are we here? So what were your thoughts when you heard that?
Oh, I thought it was good, because I knew that they were starting to take over their own, because we don't have any other issues other than those things. I mean, just watching our guys, the way they come to meetings and all, you don't have that division from within. So hadn't sensed that around here, so I wasn't worried about that, and then afterwards, and to see how they responded, I was like, you know what, this is another step in the right direction with our football team, and they got better results behind it. So hopefully we continue to build off it. It can't be a one-week thing. It's got to be an everyday thing, and we got to continue to guide our guys in that direction.
All right, Coach. Well, on that note, I'll just say we need to have players-only Sundays from here on out, all right? It's always good to talk to you. Congrats on the win. I'll talk to you again soon. Be well.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and go Noles.
All right, take care. That's Willie Taggart, head football coach at Florida State University. Gets a win, saw some real positive signs from his team here. They got a lot to work on. That second half had to frustrate him, but when you're struggling and you're lacking confidence, and you're struggling on the offensive line, to have your first two drives be 13 plays, touchdown, 8 plays, touchdown. Like I said, Northern Illinois has a good defense. Now, look, there's no doubt it's a team Florida State should beat, and they do. And they cover the number, not that means anything, but it just, in terms of expectations, they reach those. But all those moments in the second half where it looks like they're just running into a brick wall, part of that had to do with Abdul Bello going down. Once Bello goes down, I don't feel like they felt like they could block it up with Williams. But that's we'll expound on that in a bit. But there's issues there in terms of protection that they have to be careful, especially when you have a lead. At the same time, it does allow for eventually guys to suck up and you hit that big post on them while they play action. So Florida State gets the win. They do what you would hope for this team to do after a pretty tumultuous week. At 5.3 yards per play, you'll take that. And you know what? This is a Louisville team that they play next that's is struggling in their own right offensively and struggling with their confidence. So who knows? Dare I say a winning streak is a possibility. Obviously, a lot to work on. We'll react to that momentarily. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Time now for your Atlanta Braves Minute. Brought to you by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey. Personal injury law is all they do.
A day after clinching the division, the Braves sent out Anibal Sanchez to take on Aaron Nola in the final game of the year at home, and also the final game of that homestand for the Braves. Braves were looking for a 3-game sweep over the Phillies, and they had early run support from Adam Duvall and Lane Adams. Those two both doubled in the second inning. That gave the Braves early 1-0 advantage. Game was tied 1 apiece when Lane Adams came back to the plate in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Here's the pitch. Swinging and crushes it to left field. Say good night, Gracie. That is over the bullpen and into the seats. That ball was smoked. A home run for Adams. An RBI for Adams. He's got them both.
That gave the Braves a 2-1 lead. They went on to win by that final score of 2-1, sweeping the Phillies in a 4-game series in the city of Atlanta for the first time since 1997. Braves now a season-high 20 games over 500. Atlanta off today, but they start up a 3-game series in New York tomorrow night, 7:10 Eastern with the first pitch, 6:10 Central. Tukey Tucson versus Noah Syndergaard. I'm Ben Ingram. This has been your Atlanta Braves Radio Network update.
Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Seminole fans know barbecue, and Tallahassee's best Southern barbecue is Willie Jewell's. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue on Thomasville Road. Smoked on site 24 hours a day. Cooked low and slow the old school way. And every meal is served with a side of Southern hospitality. And take advantage of the barbecue tailgate special. Pork brisket, chicken ribs, turkey, and wings with all the fixings to make your tailgate the place to pregame. Let Willie Jewell's take the stress out of your next tailgate or event. Willie Jewell's, 5442 Thomasville Road. Go Knowles!
Tallahassee has always loved the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway for its delicious food, cold drinks, and Vegas wall of 8 50-inch flat-screen TVs. Now, the Corner Pocket gives you a new reason to start off every week at the CP. Monday Night Mania. Enjoy 50-cent wings and $5 domestic pitchers of beer every Monday night from 7:30 till 11 p.m. That's right, 50-cent wings and $5 domestic pitchers as you enjoy Monday night on the gridiron. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill and Monday Mania. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. Those 60 cents have been freeloading a ride in me for weeks now. I really don't want to be seen like this. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. It's beneath me. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand, all snug and secure where it won't tip over or roll under your seat or get hot in the sun. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. That's what pockets are for. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Do your hair a favor by checking in online and arriving just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience while you surround yourself with sports on TV, a great cut, massaging shampoo, and a hot steam towel. Claim your spot today. SportClips.com/check-in.
O'Reilly. Save on your next oil change when you purchase 5 quarts of Castrol high-mileage motor oil and a MicroGuard filter for the price of Castrol Conventional, now $26.99. Plus, you'll earn double points during O'Rewards Member Appreciation Month and receive a $10 O'Reilly gift card by mail. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The hardest working man in comedy is back. Kevin Hart. It's the Irresponsible Tour.
I caught my dad giving my kids raw candy out of his pocket. Candy with no wrapper. It was loose. It was just in his pocket. He said,
The box office smash comedian, Kevin Hart.
Where the lines at on that peppermint?
Kevin Hart.
5 minutes go by, I saw my dad take that peppermint out of his mouth, put it back in his pocket. Those were half-sucked on peppermints.
Friday, October 12th in Tucker Civic Center. Get tickets at the box office and online at tuckerciviccenter.com. Don't miss Kevin Hart.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
What I didn't ask him, and you and I were talking about this off the air, and he got asked the question post-game about high snaps, and he only mentioned, I think he's thinking about egregiously high snaps instead of just somewhat off, but those have been too frequent as well, and I do wonder how they affect the offense, especially when it comes to timing and the mesh point and all that stuff. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's been happening way too frequently.
You know, if you're running a Jimbo-style offense, you'd say it takes your eyes off of the safeties and the coverages downfield. If you're running this offense and you have to make a read on the defensive end who's crashing down either at the running back or you, it takes your eyes off of that too.
349 for Monday Night Football. We'll be there watching the Bucs take on the Steelers. Should be a fun game. NFL's weird right now, man. The Rams are really good. Kansas City's really good. About done.
Are the Bucs? Well, if they play well again tonight.
Yeah, at some point you'd have to say that. But you know, one thing in the offseason, when you look at the schedule, and it's funny, you figured the Bucs would be 0-2, 1-1 at best at this point, maybe hoping to go 1-2 in that 3-game stretch. And we both did say this, and I bring it up every year, that you can't really ever know about the league, because now the stretch we thought was going to be relatively easy, you know, with games against Cincinnati and the like. You know, no, Cincinnati's good. It's funny. You really don't know. Look, I think Jacksonville's good. I'm not talking about us playing Jacksonville, but I mean, they're going to have games like they had yesterday where they struggle to score because, well, they really don't have a very good quarterback.
I think it's held to form, though. You know, if you just look at the quarterbacks on the schedule, you had to score over 40 points to beat the Saints in the Superdome. That's as you would have expected.
Drew Brees was special yesterday in Atlanta.
Yes, he was.
Always is.
That overtime drive is a perfect drive. That's a coach's dream because it takes the clock all the way down to a place where if you stall or get your field goal blocked or whatever, Atlanta still doesn't have all that much time to get down and go the other way.
He's silly good and continues to be rather remarkable. The play where he gets hit and spins and dives into the end zone, you just laugh, and like, that guy's old, man.
He made one mistake, and it was the touchdown throw to the tight end where he ends up landing straight up on the goal line, and they reviewed it, but they couldn't tell, so they left it as a touchdown. He saw a ghost in terms of pocket pressure, and he went the wrong way, and you never see Drew do that, but there was such a gulf in front of him. The Red Sea had literally parted that he still had time to climb up and throw a dime, and that was about the only mistake he made.
Yeah, it's cool to watch. And then you thought last night the capper would be watching Brady get back on track, and you know, Belichick against an old assistant has had great success, and Brady's had great success against old assistants that have been within the network, if you will. And yet last night, really, Detroit's able to run the football, which you never see, and dominate the football game. It really wasn't all that competitive a football game.
Now, this last week has been really, really interesting. You've seen Cleveland win for the first time, I believe SportsCenter said, since Christmas Eve a couple of years ago.
And Baker Mayfield announced today as the starting quarterback. Then you get the bad news in San Francisco, where Garoppolo's now out for the year.
Yeah, that's what they feared, which is an ACL problem, non-contact injury. You've got Tiger winning for the first time in 5 years, and then you have the Lions rushing for over 100 yards with one player, one 100-yard rusher for the first time since, I believe, 2014.
That's nuts to think about. How is that possible? That can't be right. They haven't had a single 100-yard rusher
in 4 years. I believe that's what the broadcast was saying last night. The people were going nuts in the stands. They knew that Kerryon Johnson had cleared the 100-yard mark.
Oh, I mean, you talk about a collective failure as an organization. Well, and then there's the Raiders and Gruden. They're 0-for. They've had the lead in every third quarter of every game this year. You talk about the lack of halftime adjustments. That's usually a direct damning commentary on the head coach. In the second half of games this year, collectively, they've been outscored 64-17. Ooh, well, that'll hurt your feelings.
That hurts a little bit, yeah.
That's a bit of a problem. You're 0-for. It's going to be a long year in Oakland.
Boy, he can script the first 15, though.
Oh, with the best of them. But, again, and then there's, the stuff that we talk about with the Rams, the best team in the league so far at 3-0. The Bucs attempting to join them tonight. But the other great story is they're the Dolphins, 3-0, and the Chiefs are also 3-0. So there could be 4 teams after tonight if the Bucs could get it done. By the way, the Chiefs probably the most interesting of all that bunch, if only because they've got a 23-year-old superstar quarterback who's physically a freak. The throws he makes are silly, and it's so funny because they knew they were going to be second-guessed with the offseason move, and their thoughts were, we were watching this in practice and just felt like, okay, we need to make sure this happens. That's got to be so exciting. If you're a staff where you've got a guy, you're like, he's all right.
Yeah, it's the accuracy down the field that's crazy to me. You've seen a lot of young quarterbacks who have cannons for arms, and Jay Cutler, we fall in love with him. Kaepernick, when he first started, remember, he was a sensation
Kaepernick's
across
got a
the
great
league.
arm, yeah.
Great arm. This guy's got the accuracy to go with it, at least so far. We'll see if he's ever affected by a rush and what that may do to his psyche. But right now, I mean, it's NBA Jam, as Deshaun Jackson was saying about Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's just the ball, when it leaves his hand, it's on fire.
Fire. By the way, one of the things that you do when you laugh at the media, the national press, is you wait for them to declare somebody is or is not the next great quarterback or a huge bust. And I've been guilty of it. I'm guilty less and less of it these days with the way the league has changed. But, Houston lost yesterday. Deshaun looks decidedly average.
But he threw for nearly 4 bills, man.
That's what they do when they're trailing incessantly.
Zen Master says, we'll see.
Just hold on. I root for that kid, too, by the way. Jeff Cameron, 97.9, ESPN Radio.
The Capitol Building. I know you've cracked some jokes about my awesome tower and perfectly symmetrical domes. It's okay, because from on high, I see a serious problem in this town. Scores of people like yourself, confused, hungry, not knowing what to eat for a delicious downtown breakfast or lunch. Well, have no fear. Just a stone's throw away from my observation deck are the best people in the business. Metro Deli. Breakfast, eat, sandwiches, and wraps too. Metro Deli is the spot for you. Oh, yeah. Metro Deli. And hey, don't throw stones from my deck. That's not cool. Someone might get hurt.
With football season in full swing, don't forget about fishing our local waterways after the games. Fish are still biting regardless of the score. Sea Quarters Marina, Carabel, Florida. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The marina has a ship store, which includes fuel, bait, tackle, ice, and all of your fishing supplies for the trip. Both diesel and non-ethanol fuel is available. Free Wi-Fi and pump out with boat slip rental. Sea Quarters Marina, 501 St. James Avenue, Carabel, Florida, 697-8400. Visit them online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops. They say that they guarantee the shop's work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in, or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4, 5, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee, upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting events? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
This football season, cater your tailgate with Guthrie's. Guthrie's is a family-owned and operated restaurant that has been proudly in business for over 50 years. Since 1978, everybody has been falling hard for those golden fried chicken fingers, crispy fries, buttery Texas toast, creamy coleslaw, sweet tea, and of course, the signature sauce. Guthrie's is perfect for a school night dinner, tailgate party, or both. 2 Tallahassee locations, North Monroe Street or 1818 West Tennessee. Guthrie's Chicken, creator of the original chicken finger box and sauce.
Change your oil at Superlube every 3 months or 3,000 miles for a longer-lasting engine and better gas mileage. Change your oil at Superlube today, and for a limited time, you'll get a free car wash. Right now at Superlube, you never need an appointment. You'll be in and out in no time. And with 19 Tallahassee area locations, there's a Superlube just minutes away right now.
Boy, this place is sure convenient. How I love to Superlube my car, lube my car. How I love to Superlube my car. Yes, sir.
Son of a biscuit.
What was that?
Something broke my windshield. Look at it. Now I've got to call my insurance.
No. Just contact Seminole Auto Glass. They'll take care of everything for you.
This is Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. With Florida Full Coverage Insurance, windshield replacement is free, and it's your choice. So choose the local company you know and trust. Seminole Auto Glass, 850-539-4527 or at SeminoleAutoGlass.com.
Wow, they're coming to my work tomorrow. That was easy, thanks to Seminole Glass.
Great. Now can we go get some biscuits? I'm hungry.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Wait no more, my friends. Make it happen. Get that restorative sleep you need. It's about the best offer they're going to give you. It's the latest in a series of awesome offers from my friends at MyPillow. Just had a guy text me, or I should say tweet me over the weekend about, you ain't kidding, these pillows are great. It's a buy one, get one free special. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the buy one, get one free special. Use my code 979ESPN. You'll get one free pillow when you buy one at a regular price plus shipping. But you have to do that now because this offer won't last forever. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the buy one, get one free special, enter the promo code 979ESPN. Very, very comfortable. Irash Fell, WarChant.com, set to join us to start the 4 o'clock hour. And later in that hour, again, we'll be joined by Lita Kemper, JoeBucksFan.com. Looking forward to it. And get into the game tonight. Should be an interesting one. We'll be at Bumpus, as I said, and I will say throughout the broadcast tonight, great drink specials, great food. If you've yet to check out Bumpus, tonight's a good night to do it with a watch party for Monday Night Football, Steelers-Bucks.
Well, a question for Lita Kemper. Center Ryan Jensen, who's been a godsend for the Buccaneers.
Huge difference.
He's got some kind of illness, so now he went from not on the injury report to questionable as of this morning.
Yeah, that's a big loss if he's out. We've seen the Bucs offensive line look entirely different. So much so that it was funny that was revealed today. Adam Schefter and others brought this point up. I'm not surprised by this. That Jameis told Mark Light and others that what did I say? Mark Light?
Yeah, Jason Light.
I'm thinking of the baseball stadium where the Canes play. Jason Light that he thought Fitz would tear it up. And that just shows you how much they were buying into Todd Monken in the preseason and what they were doing offensively.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
he's
really?
like, this is going to work. Yeah, he must have been sick to his stomach having to be suspended for those first 3 games with an upgraded offensive line and a man for a play caller.
Listen, Jason, you know I'd be perfect right now in this offense. That's my fault. I won't be here, but even Fitz would light this thing up.
I don't think he said it like that, though. I mean, apparently, like they've become good friends, and that's interesting. The Bucs. Everybody talks about the decision they have to make. It's a no-brainer right now.
But
it's not much of a decision.
You're making something out of nothing. National media. The Bucs have him under team control for the next 3 seasons. Yeah, I get it. You don't want the high price tag of a franchise tag of Jameis Winston on your salary cap because you pay him around $30 million. It's the going rate for a quarterback. But he can't go anywhere. He has no rights unless he signs an extension, and even then, you've got him for at least this season and the next 2. So you're fine.
There's a lot of that going on throughout the national media on a daily basis. We know that in terms of you're looking for storylines or creating controversies in certain situations where there just aren't any, and it usually centers around quarterback. Either that or between a quarterback and coach, like they do in New England every week.
Well, and frankly, I wouldn't blame the Bucs if they just want to do a 1-year renewal and they can afford the money and it fits their cap structure to just renew them another year after it kicks in next season and then 2 more after that. Man, I'd totally do that. Yeah. I would 100% handle that way just to make sure that I know who I'm getting off the field.
Yeah. Well, and I think you're in pretty good shape right now. I mean, the situation with him was that he improved greatly at the last 6 games of last year, wants to be there, hasn't had any issues since 2016. Unfortunately, the consequences from said issue in 2016 playing out now, but it's been, we'll be going to 2019 soon enough, almost 3 years. I think they probably feel pretty good about the direction they're going. All the reports down there are that they're excited to have him as the franchise quarterback. And you're not going to make Fitz the 35-year-old future franchise quarterback.
No.
So you're not going to do that. Hey, let's give away some tickets. I had Jake the Snake on last week. Really enjoyed that interview. If you missed it, he's on the Unspoken Word Tour, Tales from the Road Tour, live at the Wilbury. It's going to take place this Thursday. That's coming up. Doors open at 8 o'clock. If you want to go, we got a pair of tickets for you right now to see Jake the Snake Roberts on the Unspoken Word Tales from the Road Tour, live at the Wilbury this Thursday night at 8 o'clock. If you can go, 523-3776, 523-3776. Caller, what do you want to do, 2? Caller 2 wins a pair of tickets right now. Irash Fell, WarChant.com. Up next, stay tuned.
you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Saturday morning, 8:30 to 11:30, September 29. Hello, I'm Brian Cerny, host of Tallahassee Talks. Join me for prizes, giveaways, and a fantastic buffet as we broadcast our entire show from the Bronze Ballroom, including an earlier recorded conversation with legendary coach Bobby Bowden. $5 at the door benefits the North Florida Red Cross. Find out more at TallahasseeTalks.com. Brought to you by Tasty Pastry Bakery. Is there anything more Tallahassee than Tasty Pastry Bakery? More fresh, more original, more "this is why I love this town" kind of delicious? I don't think so. They've been in business since 1963, working through the night to be ready the next morning with muffins, coffee cakes, bread and pastries, and my personal favorite, fresh-made bagels and Lucky Goat coffee. There's a tasty pastry just waiting for you in the Market District on Market Street, 6:45 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. They're online at tastypastrybakery.com or call them at 893-3752.
Tallahassee has always loved the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway for its delicious food, cold drinks, and Vegas wall of 8 50-inch flat-screen TVs. Now, the Corner Pocket gives you a new reason to start off every week at the CP, Monday Night Mania. Enjoy 50-cent wings and $5 domestic pitchers of beer every Monday night from 7:30 till 11 p.m. That's right, 50-cent wings and $5 domestic pitchers as you enjoy Monday night on the Gridiron. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill and Monday Mania. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Time now for your Atlanta Braves Minute. Brought to you by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey. Personal injury law is all they do.
A day after clinching the division, the Braves sent out Anibal Sanchez to take on Aaron Nola in the final game of the year at home, and also the final game of that homestand for the Braves. Braves were looking for a 3-game sweep over the Phillies, and they had early run support from Adam Duvall and Lane Adams. Those two both doubled in the second inning. That gave the Braves the early 1-0 advantage. Game was tied 1 apiece when Lane Adams came back to the plate in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Here's the pitch. Swinging and crushes it to left field. Say goodnight, Gracie. That is over the bullpen and into the seats. That ball was smoked. A home run for Adams, an RBI for Adams. He's got them both.
That gave the Braves a 2-1 lead. They went on to win by that final score of 2-1, sweeping the Phillies in a 4-game series in the city of Atlanta for the first time since 1997. Braves now a season-high 20 games over 500. Atlanta off today, but they start up a 3-game series in New York tomorrow night, 7:10 Eastern with the first pitch, 6:10 Central. Touki Toussaint versus Noah Syndergaard. I'm Ben Ingram. This has been your Atlanta Braves Radio Network update.
Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show. Brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. Good Monday. Hope you're well. Hope you had a great weekend. Appreciate you being here. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always, if you miss anything, go back, get caught up. All 3 hours posted upon the conclusion of the program, both to iTunes and in our own audio vault. You can email the show if you like. It's jcs@979espnradio.com. Let's do as we always do on Mondays. We bring in my good buddy, Ira Shafel, warchant.com, the website. Go there for all the latest regarding FSU, their victory over the weekend against Northern Illinois, obviously, and a look ahead to Louisville, who's also 2-2. That's this Saturday at 3:30, I should say, on the road. Hello, Ira. How are you, brother?
I'm great, Jeff. How are you?
Good, man. I thought they had a cohesive plan going in here, it looked like. Obviously got off to a much better start. Your thoughts on what you saw over the weekend? Obviously, we heard from Willie. I talked to Willie. You guys have as well. And I thought they were more physical, and I thought they were dedicated. They weren't always successful, but I thought they were dedicated to running the football at least.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I mean, I think they got off to a hot start. They had some issues in the middle with some turnovers and a couple other mistakes, but for the most part, I thought that they looked a lot better. I mean, I think if you come away from that game really mad, then you move the goalpost. Because I think after Syracuse, everybody was thinking, let's just see something that works, something that shows that they can run an offense and execute something, and they did that. So, I think you have to accept that for what it is. It's a step in the right direction. It's not where they want to be, but it's a lot better than it looked 1 week earlier.
Yeah, and it was interesting because when I was going through and preparing to talk to him this morning, I wanted to see all the stats and try to get as many of those in there that would kind of reveal the game plan. I know you wrote in your article as well on warchant.com that I guess there were 57 rushing attempts, 45 of those are by the running back. So they had decided, come hell or high water, they were going to run the ball. Do you think in that second half, part of why they only threw it, I think it was a total of 7 or 8 times, was because they just didn't trust after Bello went down that they could protect DeAndre Francois?
I don't know. We asked him that today, and Willie said it was because they really wanted to establish the run, and they felt like, kind of create that mindset. My only concern with that was the game wasn't in hand.
Right.
They were in a position where 1 or 2 more bad series and, just a big player to, or, the Northern Illinois receiver doesn't step out of bounds on his route, then, you're in an entirely different situation. So I think maybe that was part of it. I don't know if that was it entirely, though, because, they didn't throw it at all. You would at least try it a little bit. I mean, they threw it 7 times. I think only, maybe 5 of them were really legitimate pass plays. So I just think, I think he did decide he wanted to run it. And I think he was hoping. There were a couple of situations where they got to 3rd and short. I think he was thinking they could run for it and then start opening it up, but then they didn't convert on those opportunities.
Yeah, and I think they're downright scared to death of Jawan Williams. I just, when he gets in, there are false starts. He can't block you right now. He's domed up. He's not very good. There are all kinds of problems there. I feel for the young man. I'm not trying to bash him personally, but when he's in the game, they can't block and or he's committing a penalty. And I just wonder, you just hold your breath. Again, what's the latest on the overall health of the team? What did we learn today?
Well, I think, the most positive news, and some of us kind of picked up on this last week, we actually – one day after practice or interviews, I think we got on the elevator at the Moore Center, and Landon Dickerson got on, and he was walking perfectly fine and didn't have a boot. And so that was encouraging. And we asked Willie about that today, and he said, yeah, he's actually ahead of schedule. We originally thought he was going to be out for about 4 weeks. Sounds like he ran around some of practice yesterday. He's huge. Not just physically, but he's a guy that not only does he give you a really good offensive lineman, but he's a guy that makes other offensive linemen better. Whoever's playing next to him is going to have a good communicator next to them and somebody that knows what they're doing. So that's a big deal. I think people forget that they moved the ball in that first game when he was healthy. They just had the turnovers and they had some mistakes, but they moved the ball. And I think if he gets back, I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, I think that's going to be a big deal. And then if you ever get Derek Kelly back, that could be, it sounds like that's going to be maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I think this line could look a lot different.
Well, it's everything, right? Because you got to find a way. I know that we've changed our projections for what's possible this year. There's only so much they're going to be able to do with this group up front. But Landon Dickerson's your best offensive lineman, and you would at least see quality play out of him, whether that's a tackle, guard, wherever they have to use him, probably right tackle again. And if you're saying Kelly can come back, what you're trying to do is you're trying to find a way to win this game against a down Louisville team. So this should be a dogfight because neither team's any good. And then you got to go on the road against Miami and give yourself a chance not to get humiliated. Certainly, if Landon Dickerson's going to be back by that game, that'd be a buoying effect. One would think. You think he is back by Miami?
I would think so. I definitely would, unless he has a setback. And again, he's had a hard time staying healthy, so you don't know for sure. But I think he would be, and maybe that's kind of what they're shooting for. And Louisville, I think. Back before the season started, a lot of us thought that, that's a game that was going to be really difficult. And certainly the way FSU started, you started thinking, okay, that's probably an automatic L. But, man, they've been dreadful. They have, I think their wins are against Western Kentucky and Indiana State maybe, which aren't any worse than Florida State's 2 wins.
Right.
But they're, they got blown out by Virginia, which is a bad sign. They have not done anything offensively. I know they've had some, they've alternated quarterbacks a little bit, so they don't have a good solution there. So if FSU just plays well, I mean, if they play a somewhat clean game, I think they're going to have a legitimate chance to be in this game and maybe win it. They really have to stop these turnovers, though. It's crazy how much they're turning the ball over.
Yeah, and, it's weird because and I know you asked Willie about it, and I've talked to him about it. I think some of that oftentimes is just sort of a byproduct of being a little unlucky, but at the same time, you got a couple of guys specifically who love to carry the ball up high and away from their body, and we both know from having been at practices that's not what they teach. Has he given you an answer as to how they can get guys to be more mindful of that?
Yeah, I mean, no, they don't teach it, and nobody these guys have ever played for teaches it. I mean,
right.
I think it's a lack of focus and a lack of discipline. Guys just probably trying to do too much. Usually, certainly the case with the receivers and tight ends when they're in space, it's forgetting, hey, this is what I've got to do, and thinking more about trying to make a play and using kind of flailing their arms a little bit to get extra yardage, which is just totally incorrect. The Jacquez Patrick one,
yeah, it's a helmet on the ball and all that.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one. He's diving for the first down and gets a helmet on the ball, and maybe that's a little tough. But at the end of the day, you've got to decide you're not going to let go of that ball. And we've all seen guys who've had problems with fumbles come out of it. And Cam Akers clearly has had problems with it so far. He's got to come out of it. As a team, I mean, sometimes there's fumble luck, but this isn't the case of that. Some of these guys are just really using bad habits and given that, and that's a game again where they should have blown Northern Illinois out the way they started that game, but they let them hang around by turning the ball over.
I think you did see it's interesting. We all kind of rolled our eyes. You and I, Ira, did, and we all do whenever we hear about team meetings. Did we actually see a positive result from a team meeting? Not one, but 2 team meetings? I think we did.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And it was interesting, listening to Willie talk about it that night after the game. I mean, he basically admitted after the fact that, this team had kind of gone into a shell after that Virginia Tech game, and that you had guys kind of pouting when they weren't playing and getting touches, and you had guys getting frustrated and not being supportive. And he said this was he said that last week was the first time he'd seen them look the way they did during the preseason. And, that might explain why you sleepwalk through Stanford. That may explain why you go up and just play an awful football game against Syracuse. I think they came into the season expecting great things. They bought into all the hype. They love Willie, and they kind of were excited about this whole change in approach. And then they go out there and lay an egg and really just aren't competitive against Virginia Tech and fall apart. And I think a lot of those guys were shaken and, just kind of lost their way a little bit. And it took them a couple weeks, and they turned it around. So, again, I think it's frustrating to fans to hear that. But, I think Willie kind of admitted that was the problem during those couple of weeks. And it sounds like, holding each other accountable, they kind of found their way. We'll see if they can maintain it and carry that through another week. But certainly a positive sign last week.
Well, yeah, and then, who knows? The conversation shifts greatly if they somehow go on the road here. I say somehow. If they go on the road and beat a down Louisville team and you're 3-2, look, nobody's thinking this team's going on to a New Year's Six or anything like that. But you get 3 wins. You just need 3 more to keep the bowl streak alive, buddy. That's what we're holding out for. I'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
Thanks, Jeff. See you.
All right, be well. That's IrishFLWarChant.com. Real quick on Louisville. I mentioned how bad they've been, and he just alluded to that game against Virginia. They scored 3 points against Virginia. They had a 3-point win. I think it was against Western Kentucky prior to that. They had 148 yards passing. They had 66 yards rushing. They were terrible against Virginia.
How many yards passing?
148 total.
Holy Jesus.
Well, they averaged 5 yards per attempt.
Holy Jesus.
I kept thinking that when they were talking about Puma Pass this offseason and how great he was going to be, they yanked his ass.
Holy Jesus.
So hold your breath, man. It may happen. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in. Or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4, 5, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee, upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
Wow, E+ is great.
E+? Is that like A+?
It's better. The E stands for energy, but it should stand for easy.
Easy Plus?
Yep, easy ways to save energy, water, and money through the City of Tallahassee utilities. Easy ways to monitor our account, easy ways to pay our bill online, check our balance, compare usage history, and so much more.
And I see the City of Tallahassee Utilities has a smart bill, which sends our bill directly to our email inbox for easy payment online, too. What a time saver.
And when we download the City of Tallahassee's digital app, we can do everything on our phones, even report service issues like a power outage or blocked road.
Plus, when we go to talgov.com, we can get more information on other great City of Tallahassee utilities, like the Energy Star rebates and insulation grants. Wow, the E really should stand for easy.
Yep, E+ from the City of Tallahassee Utilities. It helps customers save energy, water, and money.
Hello, radio friends. I'm here to tell you about Barbaritos. Our mission statement is farm fresh, so let's explain. We serve char-grilled, grass-fed beef, hormone-free chicken breasts, and grilled tofu for starters. Farm fresh means fresh avocados used to make guacamole, and tomatoes from the vine to craft fresh pico de gallo. Farm fresh means award-winning burritos, salads, and tacos customized for you. So come visit your local Barbaritos today and literally see for yourself. Barbaritos, we roll farm fresh.
Barbaritos, we make it fresh, you make it yours.
Do your hair a favor by checking in online and arriving just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience while you surround yourself with sports on TV, a great cut, massaging shampoo, and a hot steam towel. Claim your spot today. SportClips.com/check-in.
Whether you're a professional athlete, casual player, or simply enjoy watching the game on those hard bleachers, any physical activity takes its toll on the body. Athletes require superior amounts of flexibility, speed, coordination, and strength to perform, and they know that treating aches and pains with their chiropractor early is critical to getting back into the game. At HealthSource, our goal is to keep you healthy and playing at the top of your game, whether it's professional sports or simply making it through the work week pain-free. Our team is dedicated to your health, but your aches and pains will never go away if you don't come in and see us. Give us a call today, 877-8980. Health Source. Don't settle for just treatment. Let us care for you.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Headed to the new Gordos, 'cause Eddie hit a home run just like the old Gordos. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Jeff, I'm sitting right here, man. Why do you always speak about me in the third person?
Loving the new Gordos.
You gotta quit singing, man.
got the outside deck. When the weather shifts, I'm going to sit outside at the new Gordo's.
Are we ever going to get there? Can you speed up, please?
Lots of TVs.
1460 Market Street.
Woo-hoo.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting event? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
This is Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. If hail or debris from the recent storm did damage to your vehicle, contact Seminole Glass today at 850-539-4527. We'll take care of everything for you with mobile service and a lifetime warranty. We're in network with your insurance and it's your choice, so choose the local company you know and trust. Seminole Auto Glass, 850-539-4527 or at SeminoleAutoGlass.com because no one takes care of your car like Seminole Auto Glass.
The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
As an aside, big win for Tom Herman in Texas. They look like a different team now.
Big 12 is interesting. You got West Virginia, Texas Tech this weekend. That's a noon kick, sir.
How about Texas Tech, huh? Stomping Oklahoma State.
I was on that one as a 14-point dog. I didn't think they'd win outright like that.
I had the under in Washington, Arizona State. Came in under 51. And that helped out. My biggest blunder of the weekend was taking Tennessee plus 4.5. But I had Buffalo minus 5.5 against Rutgers. They covered. I had Western Michigan minus 7.5 against Georgia State. They covered. I had Washington, Arizona State under 51. That was a cover. I had Eastern Michigan, San Diego State under 51. That was a cover. So I was all over it except for my silly Tennessee bet.
I have staggering amounts of potato chips on wagers, as you do too. But the blunders were Wake Forest and Boston College, who reverted back to being Wake Forest and Boston College.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I'm stuck in this situation where you got to give 10 for the Redemption Thursday wagers, then you have your personal wagers.
Yeah.
Doing really well in my personal life. I'm struggling a little bit with Redemption. I got to get back. I mean, I'd rather pick one. No, I know.
I'm taking a bath in our free league that we do here in the Tallahassee community.
Free leagues are free leagues, my friend.
I'm second to last in that bad boy. You can't finish in last now.
No, you can't. You better get it together. I don't know what's going on.
I'm having a winning year, man, so, it's hard to feel too bad about it.
It's all you care about there, man. It's just a side notes there. Well, and it's funny, the Purdue-Boston College game had – I should have jumped up and down and told you not to touch that one. There was too much going on with that game, the way that was.
Well, Purdue, in order to assert itself in that first quarter, as I was looking at it during the breaks of Tallahassee game day, they were converting on a lot of third and longs, but like unlikely third down conversions via penalty, deflected. Just weird kind of stuff. But Boston College never was able to establish the run. That was the interesting thing to me.
A.J. Dillon, 19 carries, 59 yards. Who would have thought? Well, I guess the argument would have been that Purdue was not going to stop A.J. Dillon from running the football.
Exactly,
and they did though.
Oh,
they came to play.
You talk about beating your head into the wall. Boston College kept running on first down this outside zone play, and it kept getting strung out, and Dillon never had any room at all. It was emasculating to watch what Purdue was doing to him up front.
Per our conversation just a moment ago, and I know we got to make way here in a second because Lee DeKemper, Joe Bucks fan. .com going to join us, talk big time Monday Night Football game that we're going to be watching as a watch party at Bumpa's Local 349. Come join us, Capital Circle, the old CJ's, great food specials, drink specials, plenty of TVs, and a relaxed atmosphere as we get set to watch the Monday night game. But I think the second half for Florida State, getting back to the question I asked Ira, was more about, again, Bello over there on the left side getting hurt and then having to put Williams in. I just don't think they felt like they could throw the football with any regularity. Now, maybe they went overboard and, again, trying to establish a physicality. But in doing so, it did allow for the long pass late, which was simply gorgeous. And I want to say, I'm not a huge DeAndre Francois Well, I think the way I should look at it is I think he's a decent college quarterback. I don't think he's an elite college quarterback, and I think at Florida State you ought to have an elite quarterback. That's just because of who Florida State is and its history at quarterback, all 3 Heisman winners, quarterbacks, all of that stuff, right? So I hold the bar awfully high. He threw the ball really well in the first half on Saturday, and then when he got the chance to make a big play down the field, you can't throw a better ball than the ball he threw to Terry.
Well, who did he hit on the sideline to his left? We're going towards the student section. I forget who he threw on right in the bucket. It might have been Gavin.
Gavin, it was who he hit. The long 39 yards down the left side. Yeah, that's to Keith Gavin.
Throw that was.
He made a lot of really great throws, and because I'm hard on him, I should make it abundantly clear. I thought he played well. And I'll say this, if they give him time, he's going to make plays.
Yeah. He'll miss some, but he'll make some.
But he'll make enough plays.
Like plus plays.
Right.
Yeah.
He'll make enough throws that you can win football games. And so it's good just to see that again, because he hasn't had much time, if any at all. And when he did, he made plays.
You've been giddy about Trayshawn Harrison?
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he's a talent. He's a talent. Well, and then Terry, I mean, you can't really throw it far enough.
Hey, just saying that's a hell of a 1-2 combo for the next year.
Seriously, I'm not kidding. That's a perfect ball from DeAndre in that game, but you really can't throw it far enough. You can't he's going to catch everything down.
He's a freak.
He is a freak. That ball is, he puts a lot on that, and he's just smooth.
Going to complain about a lack of targets and playing time last year, this year too. Let's up the old ratio there for number 15.
Apparently, he's been a good teammate, though, because, again, you can tell Willie's gone out of his way to bring that up.
Well, he's blocking his ass off.
Yeah, he's a player. He's a player. They got a few guys out there on the perimeter there. All right, Joe Bucks fan, Lee DeKipper going to join us next. Let's talk Bucks football. Ready on.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Explosion.
Hey, Charles.
Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Take this last second shot? Or make the last second shot? Make this musical request? Or this one? So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump, last second shot, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
The All-Team All-American Tailgate Party is coming to 4 Points Hotel in Tallahassee Saturday morning, 8:30 to 11:30, September 29. Hello, I'm Brian Cerny, host of Tallahassee Talks. Join me for prizes, giveaways, and a fantastic buffet as we broadcast our entire show from the Bronze Ballroom, including an earlier recorded conversation with legendary coach Bobby Bowden. $5 at the door benefits the North Florida Red Cross. Find out more at TallahasseeTalks.com. Brought to you by Truck and Car Concepts.
Hey folks, welcome back to Truck and Car Concepts. It is tailgate season.
It's time to secure your tailgate items. We can do that with the tonneau covers. We do alarm systems, both in the bed and the vehicle itself. And we also do camper shells or toppers. Not only that, let's dress your truck up. We got Nerf bars, we do window tinting, car stereos. Bringing out the tailgate pong. Everybody loves to play tailgate pong. Come on down to Trucking Car Concepts and get yourself ready for tailgating. 656-8800.
Just like football, when it comes to the court of law, you're going to need a solid defense. I'm Michael D. Blank, attorney with the Law Office of Jose Fernandez in Tallahassee. At the Law Office of Jose Fernandez, there is never an upfront fee, and if we don't recover, then you don't pay anything. Our team is dedicated to handling all types of accident, injury, negligence, malpractice, and wrongful death cases. If you're unable to come to us, we can come to you day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, for your free consultation today. The Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid until you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. JRFinjury.com. Go Noles.
Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in, or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4, 5, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee, upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
For the Buccaneers, Steelers, Monday Night Football, Bumpus Local 349. I'll be there. Tom will be there. Hopefully you guys will be there. Big old rack of ribs for less than 13 bones and a side. Great drink specials. What is it, $5 pitchers or $5 drafts, I should say.
Those are craft drafts, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good deal there. $3 for domestic. So drink specials, food specials, you know the deal, and a million television. So you're all set. Great atmosphere. We're going to be over at Bumpus Local tonight to watch the Bucs and the Steelers. Joining me now to talk about said game, our good friend Lee DeKemper, JoeBucksFan.com, the website. Lee, I didn't think the last we talked in the offseason that we would be talking about a 2-0 football team with an opportunity to host on Monday night to go 3-0 and join a group of 3 other teams with that record. We didn't think that could happen in a million years, especially after the news that Jameis Winston had been suspended for those 3 games. But yet here we are, and it's got to be a lot of fun for you down there covering this team right now because there's a lot of positive vibes flowing Tampa Bay's way.
Oh, very much so, and thanks for having me on again, Jeff. Welcome to the land of the best offense in the NFC. When have you ever thought you'd hear that about the Bucs? I mean, my gosh. I mean, I wrote that the other day, and actually last night. I was writing a story last night that published this morning, and I put on Twitter. I say I think I'm living in an alternate universe. The Bucs, top offense. What's going on here? But yeah, there's a lot of positive vibes. I don't know what's more shocking or impressive. Ryan Fitzpatrick, of all people, going full-blown Dan Marino, or the fact that the Bucs are undefeated entering a Monday night game where they have a very real chance of beating the Steelers. I know the Bucs of late, their prime time, their luck on prime time has been terrible. That's reason for caution. But I mean, I don't know where to start with this team, but I can assure you, from the very top offices at One Buck Palace down to Ryan Fitzpatrick himself, did not see this coming. You know, the Bucs were like hoping upon hope they could somehow escape the suspension of Jameis, the 3-game suspension, with a 1-2 record. And they were praying not to be 0-3 because that's pretty much a death knell for any postseason hope. And here they are. They could come out of this 3-0. It's shocking. With a garbage defense, I might add.
Yeah, it's not a very good defense in any way, shape, or form. I do think they fly around to the ball and give great effort. They're just not very good. We'll get to them momentarily. You expect to give up a lot of passing yards tonight in really almost every game. But first things first, I think it's fascinating as we look at this. I want to go back because, of course, you know this is a subject near and dear to my heart. I'm not a big Dirk Cutter guy. I think there's a lot of timidity in his play calling. I think he's scared of his own shadow. I think he calls plays that way. And so I was elated when Todd Monken was revealed to be calling the plays. Let's go back to this exchange with Tom Jones. Now, I'm not a Tom Jones guy, and he frequently writes stupid things. But he was fair to ask this question to Dirk Cutter, and Dirk's response was once again cowardly and silly. Let's listen to this. This is a while back, and then we'll talk about this in a moment.
Who called the plays?
You guys were there. You guys were at the game.
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah. Who called the plays?
Were you at the game?
I was at the game.
What do you want me to say? We ran the Bucs offense.
It's not a story.
Not for me.
I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just,
You're good at it.
I'm not trying to be difficult, Dirk. I think it's a question that people want to know.
Report it then.
I'm trying to.
You can do your homework.
So that was absurd, and it revealed the very nature of Dirk Cutter that I have the biggest problem with. Why would he be like that off of wins, off of performances that reveal a willingness by the head coach to take a step back, remove from his plate play calling because he's not any good at it, and allow somebody else to do it, one who trusts the players to make plays. You get credit for that if you're a head coach, for removing your ego, for deciding that maybe somebody else, a different set of eyes, could do a better job. What is at the root of that insecurity?
Well, I don't know if it's insecurity overall, but the root is Tom Jones works for the Tampa Bay Times. And the Tampa Bay Times has written some things last couple of years, especially about Jameis, that have been downright unfair.
Well, completely
and I think
idiotic.
Dirk is, yeah. And Dirk is, and I know this about Dirk. And before I get going here, I got to say that I get along with Dirk. I think Dirk has personally been short with me a little bit this year. He's been short with just about everybody. But there's certain people he's decided that you haven't been fair to me, so I'm not going to lift a finger to help you. And Tom Jones falls into that category.
He does, but that was a fair question, Lee. You have to admit that's a fair
very,
question.
Very, very fair. There's no question that was fair. But I think Dirk, again, Tom Jones has written some things himself that have been unfair about the Bucs, if not Jameis himself. And Dirk's like, no, if you're going to be that way, then I can be an a-hole too. I'm not condoning what Dirk did, but you asked me where the root of that is. That's the root of Dirk being short. And I think Dirk just this year basically said, you know what? And I've heard him say this under very glib terms, where he said to Roy Cummings when the Tampa Tribune was still living, and Roy Cummings said, well, you ought to do this as far as media relations. And Dirk said, explain to me exactly how that's going to help me win games. So Dirk has always been polite and cooperative with me, and to a degree, polite and cooperative with media. But I guess he's gotten to the point where, just like he decided, let me try having Todd Monken call the plays, it might benefit the team and might save my job. He's putting priorities together. Like, I'll deal with the press if I have to. If I don't, I won't. They won't help me win games. So why should I sweat about it? I'm not condoning what he's saying. I'm not forgiving him. But that's my vision of what's going on here.
Well, okay, that's fair. It actually, again, speaks highly of him to have priorities such as needing somebody else to do a good job because he isn't, and therefore he could save his job and put the betterment of the team before his ego. But it does speak to me, again, to a bit of the problem in general that Dirk has, which is this sense that he's always looking over his shoulder, and that strikes me as odd, if only because that's a guy that you would think made his bones on being an excellent play caller over the years and emerging as an OC eventually before becoming a head coach. It's worked well. I mean, there's no arguing about it. Todd Monken is doing an exceptional job. What have players said to you about what it is about Todd Monken's play calling, save for the fact that it's incredibly aggressive, that has them believing? Yeah.
That's exact word I talked. In that clip you just used of Cutter snapping, and he didn't snap at Tom, just kind of scolding him and being evasive, the very instant that Cutter and Jones were having a back and forth, I was talking to O.J. Howard in the locker room, and I asked him point blank, I said, is Monken calling the plays? Yeah, Monken's calling the plays. I got my answer, simple as that. But anyway, I asked O.J., so what is it about Monken that's so good? why did this offense explode like this? He goes, he's aggressive, and players love that. They love the aggressiveness. Then what's the old cliche I'm looking for? Like batten down the hatches or whatever. Right. The players love that, and that's coming from O.J. Howard. He goes, we love this, and I can see O.J. Howard was absolutely passionate when he was talking about Monken. So he really has the players fired up because he's aggressive. They get into it and they get off on that, and it's been that simple. Now I can't remember who wrote this off the top of my head, but someone went back and talked to Brandon Weedy, who's the backup with the Texans, and it was an NFL writer with the Athletic. And Whedon obviously played for Monken at Oklahoma State. And Whedon, he saw some clips of the Bucs. He goes, man, I played in this offense. This is exactly what we did at Oklahoma State. Monken is an aggressive dude, man. He doesn't care. He just throws caution to the wind. And we saw the result.
Really good news. Now I need better news. Tell me Jensen's going to play tonight because he's made a huge difference on this offensive line. That's the other reason that Monken's play calling is working, because he's had all day, does Fitzpatrick, to throw the football.
Absolutely. He's got all kinds. Fitzpatrick has all kinds of time to throw. My guess is they're going to give it a shot, see if he can handle it. That's my guess. He's listed as questionable. We both know that's just a word. That doesn't really mean anything. I'm of the opinion, have an IV in Jensen's arm all freaking day today. Load him up with Tylenol. Have a puke bucket ready to go if need be. Do whatever you have to do to get him on the field. If he was bad enough to not play, they would have already said he's going to be out. But he's not out yet. So we shall see. My guess is that he's going to try to go, and if he's that sick, well, obviously he won't, but he's going to give it a try. Jensen comes across as a guy to me. I've talked to him a few times. He's just an ornery, gnarly dude, and he'll do whatever it takes to get on the field. He gives that impression to me.
He comes across that way watching him. I love the fact that he's quick to fight guy. I like that he is somebody who will stand. I mean, you need to have a guy on edge. Not a bunch of guys, but you need to have a guy that will be that way. And we haven't had an offensive line that had characters like that in some time and that could simultaneously play at a high level. And
certainly not since Penn. Certainly not since Donald Penn was around. I would venture to say not since Chucky was around. Well, Chucky's last couple of years, they had a fairly decent offensive line. It was fairly decent. It went to hell awful quick in Chucky's last year. Aaron Sears, the poor guy, I don't even know what he's up to now, but he was institutionalized. He had a mental health issue. Obviously, Davin Joseph got hurt. And Jeremy Trueblood turned into the ultimate swinging gate. So, but that's the last time they had a really decent offensive line. But Penn had kind of an attitude like that. But I knew things were different. The second play of the Saints game, second play of the year, the Bucs had the ball from scrimmage, and the referees got in between Jensen and two defensive linemen with the Saints. The second play.
That's fantastic.
It was like Jensen said, "You're on notice, pal. You're not screwing with us anymore. This is a different Bucs team."
What's the weather conditions? What are they supposed to be like for tonight's kickoff?
Well, it's obviously hot down here. We're still in the 90s during the day, and there's supposed to be rain right around the 7 o'clock hour. It's going to be hit or miss. Typical West Coast Florida. It's going to be spotty. But what I'm scared is if they're going to have another stinking delay. With the Florida weather, you grew up here, you know it. Yeah. When there's rain this time of year, there's lightning. And if there's lightning, that's an automatic 20-minute delay. So if it's going to rain, I hope it rains earlier than 7 o'clock. Last thing we need is to be playing this game with halftime around midnight.
Brent Grimes' health?
Looks like he's going to play. I talked to him this week, and he said the goal was for him to play. And we asked him about his groin, and he was like, hey, it's a football injury. It happens. So it would really help if he gets on the field. And I got to be honest, there's another cornerback who I pretty much crucified on JoeBucksFan.com, and I thought deservedly so, because I thought he was a horrible cornerback. But the guy had a hell of a game against the Eagles. His name's Ryan Smith.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he's turning the corner or not. And I try to talk to the guys. I don't care if I'm critical or not. I'm not their buddy. I'm not their neighbor. But I want to be fair. And I talked to him personally. I wrote a story basically saying he shouldn't be on the field. He was that bad. And of course, he has a pretty nice game against the Eagles. So I made sure I talked to him Wednesday. He was cool with me, and he said. He goes, you got to think about this. I didn't play at all my rookie year. I didn't play at all. They tried to play me at safety. I got hurt. I didn't take one snap on defense, just special teams. He says, so technically, I've only got a year under my belt. I'm almost like a rookie. And I didn't think of it that way, but it made a lot of sense. And so, in effect, they tried to, and this might say something about Mike Smith, they tried to turn him into a safety, and obviously that was a failure. And so they put him back at corner. He was originally drafted as a corner. So he's got a point. Ryan's got a point that he has barely a year under his belt as a corner in the NFL, even though this is his third season.
Well, I'm excited to watch him. Hopefully,
hopefully
it is, because the Bucs have been bad in the secondary, or inconsistent, wildly so, for some time, along with the lack of pass rush has led to some opposing quarterbacks having really big days against Tampa Bay. You got a Hall of Fame quarterback on the other side tonight throwing to a receiver that is probably on his way to the Hall of Fame as well. So you kind of hold your breath a little bit to see if this is going to be a shootout. Who knows? Maybe you get one more great night, maybe 2 or 3 more great nights out of Fitzmagic. It's fun to watch. It makes perfect sense that the Bucs would want to continue to ride that train as long as he's playing really well. By the way, I would guess, in asking around one Buck place there, that no question that's what they'll do, right? He's going to keep playing. Look, everybody knows, I think Winston's the future of the Bucs. He's proven that already. If he can avoid trouble off the field, he's a very good football player on it. But I think he would be willing to admit, and I think certainly anybody who roots for the Bucs as an organization has to be willing to admit, that if Fitz is going to play like this, then he's never coming off the field if he's going to have this kind of renaissance. But what have you heard?
Renaissance is the perfect word. Now, Jay Glaze, the Bucs are being very mum about what's going on. I think that's only fair because they can't talk to Jameis until Tuesday when he returns. So I think that's only fair. But, yeah, common sense tells you the way Fitzpatrick is playing, you can't pull him off the field. So, but obviously, as I stated earlier, no one saw this coming. The Bucs people were, just crossed their fingers that they had at least one win when they went to Chicago when Jameis' suspension was finished and they traveled to Chicago. So, Jay Glazer yesterday at Fox, who's rarely wrong, he came out and said, hey, the Bucs are going to stick with Fitzpatrick until he screws up, which common sense says they should, the way he's playing. Now, Cutter was asked about this several times last week, including on Sirius XM NFL radio, and he wouldn't go there. Matter of fact, he kind of scolded Gil Brandt. He goes, Gil, come on, you're killing me. You think I'm not going to say anything about who we got a game to play before we play Chicago. And Jenna Lane of ESPN asked Cutter point blank, have you made a decision on Jameis yet? And he said, why would we tell Chicago what we're doing? So I got to imagine Jay Glazer's report did not go over very well in the Cutter household yesterday.
Yeah, but it just makes sense. He doesn't have to be nervous about this. I mean, the guy's the highest rated quarterback in football. What are you going to pull the highest rated quarterback in football? I mean, he's playing really well. Jameis even said, and it was reported today, Schefter and others had talked about that he thought Fitzpatrick would light it up. And look, I think in this offense, you and I talked about this, they both looked great in preseason. I know it's preseason, but I think when you've got the kind of improvements we're seeing on the offensive line, to go with, obviously Godwin in his second year, O.J. Howard in his second year, guys getting more comfortable in the offense, Deshaun being here for another year. I think obviously you would expect a bit of a step forward. It's been greater than anybody could have realized. But, tonight can change things probably one way or the other. It can make it easier or harder for Dirk. My guess is you wouldn't want to go to Jameis on a short week against the Bears defense on the road. I think you would want to ease into that, right?
Exactly. And I had talked to Todd Monken in training camp about the prospect of Jameis playing against the Bears. And Monken said it's not as simplistic as you think. And he talked about how on Mondays, they being Cutter and Monken, the offensive staff, meet with the quarterback, whoever's starting that game, or the quarterbacks, including, Fitz and Jameis. But, okay, we want your input. What would you like to use against opponent X? What do you feel comfortable with? You've seen tape of theirs. What do you feel comfortable with? Well, given the fact it's a Monday Night Football, or it's a short week after Monday Night Football, that one practice where they have a meeting with the quarterbacks to go over what the quarterbacks want to do in that game, that's gone. That's out the window. And so that, Monken was saying that factors into the decision who starts on the Monday or that next game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And obviously, again, no one expected Fitz to be doing this. So that really, and maybe it doesn't, it shouldn't complicate matters. Maybe it does. But I'm like you, it just common sense tells you the guy's the highest-rated quarterback in the league. Why would you even think about yanking him?
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, if he's terrible tonight or something, and knock on wood that he's not, then it would make the decision maybe a little bit easier. But even still, like you said, short week, it's kind of difficult. Last question, I've got to let you go, Lee. I know you're busy as well. Vita ever going to play?
Oh, that's a good question. And I got to be honest. No, he's not playing tonight. He's out. He's been ruled out. And I got to be honest. I can't rag on a guy for being hurt. There's very few players I know of that wanted to be hurt. Myron Lewis springs to mind. He enjoyed being hurt because it means he didn't have to practice, he didn't have to play, he didn't have to get beat up, and he got paid. But that's one of the very, very few. And I know a lot of Bucs fans are frustrated with Villa. I can't get on him about that. Now, do I think he's got something more wrong with him than a calf? Yes, I do. Because a simple calf injury should not put you on the shelf for 2 months. I'm sorry. It's something more than that. And there was some speculation that he may have damaged his Achilles when it first happened. You know, obviously the Bucs aren't going to say that. They're not going to come forward with that. But it stands to reason. It's I don't know about significant, but it's something more than just simple calf injury. So, but yeah, I think he'll play. You know, there were some fans that were upset that he was practicing this past week, then he was ruled out. And I said, well, you know, that's stupid to throw. If the guy isn't game ready, and he shouldn't be game ready, if he hasn't practiced since July 27th. That was the last time he practiced. So to expect the guy to be game ready in like 4 days, that's really pushing it, if not irresponsible to get him out of the game just to try to prove some stupid point. They're going to need him down the road. They don't need him so much against the Steelers, although it would have helped, but they need him down the road. So I can't jump on the guy's case. A lot of fans are. I can't go there. But it is frustrating that, you know, the guy hasn't been on the field, the practice field, up until Wednesday for roughly 2 months. It's something more than a calf injury.
Yeah, well, it's tough when you have anything to do with calf, ankle, Achilles, and you're 356 pounds. It doesn't heal quickly.
Yeah, you're a large man.
It's a difficult thing. Hey, Lee, always appreciate it, buddy. Be well. Enjoy the game tonight, and we'll talk again down the line, brother.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. And by the way, outstanding interview with Jake the Snake Roberts. It was riveting.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. Appreciate that.
No problem. Have a good one, Jeff.
All right, you too. Take care. Yeah, it was a fun interview. If you guys missed my Jake the Snake Roberts that he's referring to interview, then go back and check it in the archived audio. Yeah, it's tough, man. With big guys with ankle and calf and Achilles problems, you can't rush that. He's not wrong. It's infinitely frustrating since, you know, he's your first-round pick and there were other players.
It's good that he's participating, and it makes it easier for everybody that we're 2-0, just kind of like the Jameis thing. You know, if you're 0-2 and he's not playing, and moreover, our first-round pick is never going to play it down.
Right, yeah. No, it is. And it's funny, I've had so many people, and I know we're up against it, I've had so many people say how bad this is for Jameis. Are you kidding? This is so much better than if they were 0-2. The amount of pressure that he's already under and the frustration from the fan base, a lot of it rightfully so, would have been elevated to a much higher level of frustration and anger if they were 0-2 and their season was lost before it ever got started because their franchise quarterback was suspended. He's dodging bullets left and right because they're 2-0. He knows also the Bucs are not going to hitch their wagon to Fitz long term.
You've got a toxic locker room if you're 0-3. You've got a coach that's about to be fired, and any result, week after week, you're looking Monday morning saying, are they going to fire him? Or you're just waiting for Schefter to tweet, hey, reports out of Tampa say that Dirk Cutter's done. You know, if you're 0-3, then you're 1-4, you're 2-5.
Right.
That's what that is.
Yeah,
and it's Jameis is to blame for you guys being behind the behind the 8 ball.
Your ass is in the jackpot because of that guy from 2016.
And they'd have a point.
They would have a great point. Fitzpatrick is 35 years old. He's going to be in the league another year or two. He's a great backup who's having an incredible run that we should all be celebrating, which I am. Seems like a great guy. By all accounts, he and Jameis are actually really close friends. I think from what I understand, that there's been an awful lot of that, boys. Appreciate you helping out while I've been out. Fitz is the first to say that it's Jameis' job whenever this period cools off.
Well, they can be face-to-face starting, tonight. I think it's 12:01 a.m. He can be at the facility. So tomorrow morning for coffee or whatever, he pulls Ryan Fitzpatrick aside, looks him in the eyes, and says, thank you.
Oh, man,
thank you.
Time thank you.
Beyond, this is awesome. Thank you.
And again, I'll reiterate it for people just joining us. If Fitz plays well tonight, it's a no-brainer. starts next week against Chicago.
Absolutely.
And he plays. If it's all 16 games, that there's your
If
guy.
he plays well tonight, and he plays well on Sunday,
Then
we beat that Bears defense.
He keeps starting. Period.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Or at TallahasseeTalks.com. Brought to you by Sellers Tile. Every day, Sellers makes life a little better for homeowners, helping them find the best design ideas for their homes with the best quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring. Even mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions are at their fingertips in their remarkable showroom. Maybe it's time for you to get the Sellers Advantage for your home or office. Find them on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com. For style, quality, and design, get the Sellers Advantage. In Tallahassee, call 656-8453.
Check out the all-new Team Dean at Dean Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram's Summer Clearance Event, the 2017 Dodge Journey Crossroads Edition, starting at $32,585. But after dealer discounts on their Summer Clearance Event, you pay only $25,793. That's a savings of over $6,700. Only at Dean Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Bainbridge, Georgia, 1305 East Shotwell Street, or 229-248-0153. That's 229-248-0153.
Whether you're a professional athlete, casual player, or simply enjoy watching the game on those hard bleachers, any physical activity takes its toll on the body. Athletes require superior amounts of flexibility, speed, coordination, and strength to perform, and they know that treating aches and pains with their chiropractor early is critical to getting back into the game. At HealthSource, our goal is to keep you healthy and playing at the top of your game, whether it's professional sports or simply making it through the work week pain-free. Our team is dedicated to your health, but your aches and pains will never go away if you don't come in and see us. Give us a call today, 877-8980. Health Source. Don't settle for just treatment. Let us care for you.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the law office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the law office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Again.
Appreciate Joe Bucks fan joining us on the program, talking a big Monday Night Football game, which you can join us for tonight. Bumpers Local 349, right there, the old CJs. If you haven't been yet, what a perfect time to go tonight. Beer specials, of course, drink specials throughout. And if ribs are your thing, then you get a giant rack of ribs for less than 13 bones plus a side to go along with those drink specials. And you're watching Buccaneers football, or if you're a diehard Steelers fan, Steelers football. Either way, good Monday night game tonight. We'll be watching at Bumpa's for a little laid-back watch party. Come join us and enjoy all new Bumpa's Local. By the way, since we went long there, real short segment here, I'm going to give away something in a second. Hold your horses.
Oh, man, the phones are already ringing.
They can wait.
We're going to restart, people. We're going to restart it when Jeff says what caller.
That's right. Well, we've got to remind you that if you have a do-it-yourself project that needs to be finished, go visit my friend Rick and Austin and the knowledgeable staff at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. We really appreciate them being a sponsor of the Jeff Cameron Show. To get all your power tool needs, 2 locations to choose from, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Give them a call today at 580-1200 or online at ctf.nu. Simple as that. All right, good stuff. By the way, the Saturday, the Tallahassee location is open from 8 a.m. to noon, so you're getting started early. Doing some do-it-yourself action, Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. All right, caller 5. Caller 5 is a pair of tickets to Beer Fest, October the 13th. That's the bye week, 6 p.m. Good times. Woo! Beer Fest. Caller 5, 523-3776. That's 523-3776. Caller 5, a pair of tickets to Beer Fest. Final hour forthcoming. Stay with us. In that hour, of course, you'll get to hear the Mountain Dew coach's interview with our good buddy Willie Taggart, or the head coach of Florida State University. He'll join us next hour. If you've missed the interview earlier in the show, stay tuned for that.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Capital City of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio. WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it. Hope you're well. Appreciate you. Hope you had a good weekend. Monday working out all right? Everybody's okay? You about to go on a jog? Is that what you're going to do? Sit down, have dinner, take the dogs for a walk? Maybe you're listening to us via podcast with your headset in, via the streaming, something like that. Could be the WTSM app. Good to have you on board. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. If you do miss something, go back, get caught up. All 3 hours get posted upon the conclusion of the show every day. It's on iTunes, and it's also in your audio vault. And coming up here pretty shortly, the Mountain Dew coach's interview with Willie Taggart. You'll hear from him in about 8 minutes or so. Maybe a little bit more than that with the commercial break. But he'll be joining us and talk to him this morning. If you missed it in the 3 o'clock hour, I talked to him this morning, and obviously he was happy about a win. But, this is the kind of game I remember every coach I've ever spoken to will talk about games like this as being ideal. On the one hand, you get a win. And on the other hand, there's enough wrong that you can still light into your players and show them examples of where they've got to get a lot better. And this game is that in a nutshell, right? I mean, Florida State comes out and plays worlds better in that first quarter than at any point they've played this year, and that includes against the likes of Samford. They came out with a purpose. They came out and executed. You get a 13-play drive ending in a touchdown. Get a little lucky in there on that drive, but still, they were executing well on that drive prior to that tip ball. And then the 8-play drive, which they go down again, 70-plus yards and another touchdown. So they start fast for once, and the defense is playing with a lead, and the offense seems to be gathering a little bit of confidence, best they can anyhow, with some of their limitations. Run game is not prolific, but they stuck with it. I thought that was a smart move. Obviously, it sets up much later in the game the ability to throw that deep play action off the post. That's keeping people at bay when you're a little bit worried about blocking it up. You get that. And so but again, when your running backs get 45 carries between them, and that on the day there are 57 total runs, you are committed to the run. And you'll hear me ask Willie this in a few seconds, but obviously pace was not a problem here. 54 plays in the first half. That's more pace, not less pace, without question. So here's what they do in a nutshell. They simplify even more, right? They do sprinkle in some wrinkles that we really hadn't seen. But by and large, they wanted to be sure this week, and Willie gets in there with the sleeves rolled up. You heard about it all week long, right? To be tougher, to be more aggressive, more physical. You see that from the defense and the way that they finish off tackles. You see that in the way that our backs were finishing off runs and linemen finishing off blocks, right? Fire off the ball and give yourself a fighting chance here. Gain some confidence. And they do that. And if you want to marry that to go along with Ricky Aguayo making 3 kicks, again, that too will help bolster confidence. So some things to give you a glimmer of hope as you move forward. And listen, this next game against Louisville, that's a team comes off scoring 3 points against Virginia. They've got problems of their own. So 2 programs that aren't exactly humming will face off against one another this Saturday. And I bring that up with only to say that, look, Knowles could win that game, and you'd be 3-2, and for the moment, the chatter wouldn't be at a fever pitch. It would just kind of be, all right, well, we're not good, but we could get bowl eligible. I mean, that's where things would shift.
Right, yeah, you're still on life support, and if you win this weekend, then maybe you got a chance, right?
Yeah,
It's the first half, I thought a couple of things. There was a little bit of pace when we're on a roll. I think we ride with the hot hand,
Well,
so
I
to
think
speak.
you get a glimpse of what that's going to look like.
Yeah, but we did have the ball for 20 minutes overall, so I think that had something to do with the plays because the defense kept getting off the field. And
we kept converting on third down.
We converted on third down. We stopped the run. But, there's good and there's bad. So there's like a great moment was at the end of the first half where Willie calls a timeout, and it's off of a chaotic moment where you think you're going in for a score, and there's a high snap, and they show the replay on TV, and he is steely. First thing he does is look at the clock. He doesn't roll his eyes, nothing.
Calmly looks at the
he
clock.
Finds the ref, says timeout. All right, let's go get a kick. That's a coach gaining points. If the coaching staff lost points against Syracuse in a couple of key moments or with a couple of choices, they gain points there. But then at the same time, there are still things that we need to clean up. So the play before Northern Illinois hits their shot down the field, it's not even a play. It's a defensive substitution issue on 3rd and forever. It's still 3rd and long, but what does that do?
Right.
you're in quicksand at that moment, or your feet are heavy. You're not as focused. He has to call a timeout. He chucks his headset into the ground and yells, "I can't have any of this bleepity, bleepity, bleep." And he's yelling at his support staff or the kids who didn't know whether to be in or out of the game. So there's still a lot of things that need to be cleaned up, not just with our own ball security on the field, with the team. A lot of loaf of breads out there, right? A lot of loaves of bread. Forced fumbles that we're not making it hard. It's got to be high and tight. But there's also stuff that the quality control coaches, the assistant coaches, they've got to iron out these communication deals because, as he said in his postgame on Saturday, a good team will beat you if you make these mistakes.
Yeah, and I dare say, I mean, this is part of the frustration as to where we're at right now. They can clean all that up, and they'll lose to good teams. It just makes you feel better that they're making progress with attention to detail stuff, which is good. I mean, I don't blame coaches for fumbles. Those kids, by the time you get here, you know how to hold a damn ball. They got to be better than that. They'll obviously turnovers. A lot of that has to do with luck. I will give Northern Illinois an awful lot of credit. 2 of those for certain are there's nothing you can do.
Right.
Those are perfectly placed helmets on a football.
There's a couple where we don't even actually fumble the ball, but the guys are just running with the football all the way out in a fully extended arm, and you're going, guys.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I thought this was a big step forward. It's an area where you're talking about a group in dire need of gaining some confidence. I'm not going to sit here and beat the drum that we're back because we beat Northern Illinois. I'm not going to tell you this is going to lead to bowl eligibility. I'm not going to go on a long diatribe about that's how it's done. I'm just going to say when you amass that kind of offense, something more than what Iowa did against this defense, something more than what Utah did against this defense, and we certainly didn't think we were either any bit as good as those 2 teams.
Yeah.
Then I'll say it's progress. There was confidence made. There were steps taken forward. Good. Let's keep moving in that direction.
Yeah, they came out of the tunnel with an idea of what they wanted to do, right? Which is great, and they executed on that. I know blocking-wise, special teams is still an issue with the holdings and the blocks in the back, mostly holdings. But special teams was an asset in this game, and that's what Willie said on Monday.
It was better
when he read his prepared statement last week. Special teams has to be an asset. Ricky Aguayo was an asset, and even though Logan Tyler is up and down, he hit a big punt when we needed to pin them back in the second half. So special teams, big improvements week to week. Overall, there were improvements week to week. It's just I think that second half, for some reasons that are out of our control, injury timeouts, reviews, and things like that, and then some things that are in our control, the inability to effectively run the ball, that second half took forever and a day, and it leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth. But overall, you're very happy with this result given where we were.
Not a good weekend for the ACC, however. My goodness gracious. You're talking about Clemson and everybody else. I suppose the second best team in this league is Miami, and it's a distant second.
Yeah, BC got taught a lesson.
I warned everybody about that potential game because here's the problem. Purdue had 3 losses this year by a grand total of 7 points. They should have won all 3 games. Purdue should be 4-0, and they're 1-3. Football's cruel. But Virginia Tech's loss is one for the ages. It's graded out by many advanced metric systems as being the worst or the biggest upset in over 20 years. Old Dominion had just lost to Liberty. They're not any good at all. This wasn't a case of a lower division school who's had a – no. They're 0 for 3 prior to that win. They're awful. And so when you look at that and you look at Wake getting pasted by Notre Dame, who's a pseudo-ACC team,
Well, Notre Dame figured out the quarterback issue, didn't they?
Unfortunately, I think Miami may have 2.
They had already scripted that Perry was going to come into the game.
Yeah, he maybe is going to stay in the game.
But he stayed.
Yeah, I think they're going to be there for a while. Yeah.
They backed into it. They backed into the right move, probably.
Probably. We can't get caught up in all that time. We got Louisville to focus on, buddy.
Oh, yes.
We got the big Louisville game to focus on.
That's a 3:30 kick. Hey, the networks think enough of it that it's a 3:30 kick.
Our Mountain Dew coach's interview is next with Willie Taggart. Talked to him this morning. I think you'll enjoy it. Stay with us for that. A reminder, Bump is local tonight. Bucks, Steelers. All right. Watching a little Monday Night Football or Monday Night Football. Today's a tough day. I can't talk today. I'm going to sit back and just watch tonight's game and enjoy myself and have a cold beer and some tasty beverages and food. And I reiterated, I guess, the beverages. But the
well,
food,
yes.
yeah.
But there's also, at Bumpus, they also have tasty beverages.
They do. On the side of, like, if you get a beverage and you're like, I need another beverage. Oh, we got you.
$3 domestics and Wells, $5 craft drafts, and calls.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
You healthy and playing at the top of your game, whether it's professional sports or simply making it through the work week pain-free. Our team is dedicated to your health, but your aches and pains will never go away if you don't come in and see us. Give us a call today, 877-8980. Health Source. Don't settle for just treatment. Let us care for you.
Wow, E+ is great.
E+? Is that like A+?
It's better. The E stands for energy, but it should stand for easy.
Easy Plus?
Yep, easy ways to save energy, water, and money through the City of Tallahassee utilities. Easy ways to monitor our account, easy ways to pay our bill online, check our balance, compare usage history, and so much more.
And I see the City of Tallahassee Utilities has a smart bill, which sends our bill directly to our email inbox for easy payment online, too. What a time saver.
And when we download the City of Tallahassee's digital app, we can do everything on our phones, even report service issues like a power outage or blocked road.
Plus, when we go to talgov.com, we can get more information on other great City of Tallahassee utilities, like the Energy Star rebates and insulation grants. Wow, the E really should stand for easy.
Yep, E+ from the City of Tallahassee Utilities. It helps customers save energy, water, and money.
Widden Glass takes care of Tallahassee business. Local contractors know Widden Glass has been taking care of business since 1945. They prefer Widden Glass because of their precise window glass replacement, masterful shower enclosures, and storefront glass. Widden Glass will take care of you to your complete satisfaction. That's been Widden's way of doing business for over 70 years. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. We've done hundreds of storefronts in the Tallahassee area. That's why Widden is known for taking care of business. Widden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in. Or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4, 5, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee, upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
When the Knowles are on the road, 97.9 ESPN Radio has you covered. Your ESPN Tallahassee Watch Party headquarters is Hobbit American Grill on West Pensacola.
Intercepted! Levante Taylor! He's going to take it the distance!
Giveaways, contests, food and drink specials, and more. Sports Monster Watch Parties. All this year at Hobbit American Grill on West Pensacola. When the Knowles hit the road, head to Hobbit with us. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
This ain't the heartache that I thought I knew.
All right, welcome back. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio and Sirius XM. ESPNU Channel 84. We're joined by the head football coach at Florida State. Willie Taggart gets a win this weekend over Northern Illinois. Good week for you, Coach. I thought the team responded to your message. First of all, congrats on the win. And secondly, that's about as good a start in a first half as you could have hoped for coming out of this week, right?
Oh, absolutely. But I know for me personally, I saw it coming. Throughout practice, our guys came to practice and with a different sense of urgency and committed to practicing the way that we needed to, and it paid off the way they came out and executed, and not only executed, they did it consistently enough for us to get down the field and finish drives. And you think about games in the past where we made plays here and there, and then we stub our toe with a penalty here or turn the ball over or something to ourselves, and our guys played consistently enough on those first two drives. And the third drive was going well, and then we fumbled the ball there, and that was critical.
Yeah, you get off to a great start. It's 13 plays down the field, 70-plus yards, followed by 8 plays, same thing. I think sometimes, Coach, and I wonder what your thoughts are on this, just seeing a result, something that shows some success, something that gives them a measure of confidence. Mm-hmm. I thought at that point you saw a group that looked like they were playing with a sense of belief.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And I think our guys have been really real with themselves over the last few games and understanding that they have to play better than what we have been playing in, and they talked among themselves and they came out and gave a lot more than what they had been given, and it paid off for us. And we got to continue to do that each and every week and continue to focus on us and just getting better at those things that we're struggling at.
You look at some of the results here. Clearly, you wanted to run the football. That's obvious. And you look at the total yards per play, 5.3 for Florida State. That number, Coach, I know we only measure it by our own. We look inward, but it's better than what Iowa did against that defense. It's better than what Utah did against that defense. My point, I guess, being for those listening, is that this Northern Illinois team does have a good defense. Mm-hmm. So you had to be buoyed by that. 5.3 yards per play, a step up against a good defense.
Oh, absolutely. And I thought our O-line did a good job of coming out and being physical and trying to establish an identity of what we want to be. And I think that really helped us, especially there late in the game when we got another touchdown on the post route. But I think a lot of that came off of us being committed to the run and them having guys down there. So we got to be able to do that and understand we can continue to get better at all those things. But that's got to be who we are and trying to set an identity as a football team. And it was good for our guys to go out there and start that process.
Winning some on first down, Coach, I'm just curious. What you ran 54 plays in the first half. This was the fastest we've seen the pace for Florida State yet. And at one point last week, you thought, well, maybe we have to slow it down, but you didn't slow it down here. Obviously, you look at the total plays. You look at the plays just in the first half alone. You had more pace, not less pace.
Well, I tell you, we did a great job of converting on third down, and that allowed us to continue drives and get more plays in there. And again, especially early in the first half, for us to play consistent and get those first downs, it played a big part of us having that many plays in the first half. So as long as we can execute, and I tell you the thing is, like you said, on first down, we did a better job of executing and not being behind the sticks, and that is so critical for us.
Obviously, you preached about being more physical and more disciplined. You got that in the first half. There was some sloppiness in the second half we'll get to, but let's look at the other side of the ball. I just quoted Florida State's offensive numbers for yards per play. You held Northern Illinois to 3.6 yards per play for the game. You completely shut down their running game. They want to run the football. I thought that while the defense has played pretty well this year, it was more physical this weekend.
It was. And Coach Barnett challenged those guys, and we knew coming in they were going to run the ball, and he challenged them to try to shut it down, and our guys did a great job holding them to 6 yards of rushing, and to me that's really good football when you can stop the run and make a team one-dimensional. That's when things can be really fun fun for you, and that was good for our defense to be able to not only accept that challenge but go out there and take advantage of it.
In one way, Coach, the game can be considered in a weird way a coach's dream because you got something where you can hang your hat on some successes and a win, of course, but also, as I just alluded to, it was sloppy in the second half, and those are coachable moments. Those are moments for you to look at the film and say to those guys, this gets us beat against somebody better. Your thoughts on that second half were a little frustrating.
It was, because you go into the first, you see the first half and the way you're capable of playing, and I think we had one penalty going into halftime.
Yeah.
And then to come out the second half and just play sloppy and turn the ball over like we did was, again, that's not playing winning football. And our guys, that's something we preach. We work on ball security daily, and again, it's got to be important to guys when they have that ball to take care of it. And then when it comes to the penalties, the ones that frustrate you and just can't happen is the selfish penalties. Those penalties that happen pre-snap and things that you can control, you can't have those things. And our guys got to understand that if you do it, you can't play. So we gotta be better and play smart, winning football. And I think that's probably our biggest thing right now is to focus on playing winning football.
Couple things that you had to be encouraged by. First of all, Ricky Aguayo. Need him to make some kicks, obviously, and he was great in this game. He looked like the guy from last year. So it's good to see him get confidence back. And then also, you talked after the game, Coach, about, I guess, teammate interaction and how improved it was and how supportive they were and how each guy understands, look, I may not be getting the ball the way I want to in this game, but it'll come if I keep doing what I'm supposed to do. Obviously, Terry ends up with the big play. Just your thoughts on the overall camaraderie of this team, having gone through some turmoil early in the season. Where are they at collectively?
They're tight. They're tight. I mentioned it earlier. My guys met as a team and kind of put it on themselves and say, enough is enough. It's time for us to go out there and prepare the way we need to and hold each other accountable to practicing like we need to and doing all the things we need to. And it paid off in practice. I mean, they came to practice last Tuesday, and it was the energy and enthusiasm was like it was before we started the season. And then guys was getting ticked off when the ball was on the ground, when they dropped the ball or something, and that was exciting as a coach. I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? And then I found out later that's something they talked about, and it was really fun to see. And guys that moped around before, they weren't moping around. They came with a purpose, practice with a purpose, and it paid off. And then on Saturdays, when you get a lot of frustration, when things aren't going well, everybody wants to play. Those things happen, and it had been happening to our football team. And Saturday, you didn't see it nowhere. And I was looking for those guys that normally do it, and those are the guys that was encouraging the others, but also going out and making plays for us. And you mentioned Terry; he could have easily been ticked off because he hadn't got many catches up to that point, and he was locked in. He was blocking for his teammates, and then when we called the play for him, he was ready. And to me, that's what it takes. And our guys understand. And that's been one of the goals for us is to play for each other and play for your teammates and become better teammates, and they're working on it.
Were you worried at all? I'll tell you why. Players-only meetings are notorious, right? I mean, they can go one of two ways. That can get pretty ugly in a hurry. And it also can do what it apparently did here. But as a coach, you hear about a players-only meeting. Sometimes those are encouraged by coaches, and sometimes those are things that your players do on their own completely, and you think, well, now where are we here? So what were your thoughts when you heard that?
Oh, I thought it was good because I knew that they were starting to take over their own because we don't have any other issues other than those things. I mean, just watching our guys, the way they come to meetings and all, you don't have that division from within. So hadn't sensed that around here, so I wasn't worried about that, And then afterwards, and to see how they responded, I was like, you know what, this is another step in the right direction with our football team, and they got better results behind it. So hopefully we continue to build off it. It can't be a 1 week thing; it's got to be an everyday thing, and we got to continue to guide our guys in that direction.
All right, Coach. Well, on that note, I'll just say we need to have players-only Sundays from here on out, all right? It's always good to talk to you. Congrats on the win. I'll talk to you again soon. Be well.
I appreciate it, and go Noles.
All right, take care. That's Willie Taggart, head football coach at Florida State University. Gets a win, saw some real positive signs from his team here. They got a lot to work on. That second half had to frustrate him, but when you're struggling and you're lacking confidence and you're struggling on the offensive line, to have your first two drives be 13 plays, touchdown, 8 plays, touchdown. Like I said, Northern Illinois has a good defense. Now, look, there's no doubt it's a team Florida State should beat, and they do. And they cover the number, not that means anything, but it just, in terms of expectations, they reach those. But all those moments in the second half where it looks like they're just running into a brick wall, part of that had to do with Abdul Bello going down. Once Bello goes down, I don't feel like they felt like they could block it up with Williams. But that's we'll expound on that in a bit. But there's issues there in terms of protection that they have to be careful, especially when you have a lead. At the same time, it does allow for eventually guys to suck up and you hit that big post on them or play action. So Florida State gets the win. They do what you would hope for this team to do after a pretty tumultuous week. At 5.3 yards per play, you'll take that. And you know what? This is a Louisville team that they play next that's is struggling in their own right offensively and struggling with their confidence. So who knows? Dare I say a winning streak is a possibility. Obviously, a lot to work on. We'll react to that momentarily. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
And the Wilbury. Jake the Snake at the Wilbury, Thursday, September 27th.
Just how good does a Sport Clips Championship haircut experience make you feel? Like your hair has its own walk-up music. No matter what kind of guy you are. Maybe you play sports. Maybe you play sports online. Or maybe your sport is keeping up with your kids. You want hair so good it deserves its own walk-up music. And at Sport Clips, we make it easy. Just check in online, choose your stylist, and head to Sport Clips. You'll get a game-changing cut from a stylist trained for guys. Go big with the MVP experience and get recharged with a massaging shampoo and their legendary hot steamed towel. They'll always finish strong by styling your hair just right, tightening up that beard, and getting you on your way. Hair this good needs no introduction, but you'll want one anyway. Appointment-free championship haircuts for men and boys surrounded by what you know and love, sports. So get in line online today at sportclips.com/check-in and get your hair in the game.
Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the Social Agreement. You and a buddy can split one order of wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on Thursdaysincollegetown.com.
With football season in full swing, don't forget about fishing our local waterways after the games. Fish are still biting regardless of the score. Sea Quarters Marina, Carabel, Florida. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The marina has a ship store, which includes fuel, bait, tackle, ice, and all of your fishing supplies for the trip. Both diesel and non-ethanol fuel is available. Free Wi-Fi and pump out with boat slip rental. Sea Quarters Marina, 501 St. James Avenue, Carabel, Florida, 697-8400. Visit them online at seaquartersmarina.com.
This Day in Sports brought to you by Superlube. Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary.
This Day in Sports History, September 24th, 1938. Don Budge beat Gene Mako at the U.S. National Championships at Forest Hills, New York, to become the first player in tennis to win all 4 major tournaments, the Australian, French, British, and U.S. titles, in a single year. During that year, Budge won an incredible 92 straight matches and would be named the AP Athlete of the Year.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
It's the 25th anniversary of the Game of the Century in South Bend. When we hit the road to Chicago this November, we're turning to Game Day Excursions for convenience and comfort. It's true. With Game Day Excursions, your Saturday is taken care of. It starts with bottomless mimosas, Bloody Marys, reception at the Chicago's Field Museum, which is a great place. Includes premium bus transportation to and from South Bend, a VIP-style tailgate with free food and beer. Head to GameDayExcursions.com. Use promo code JCS at checkout for $10 off each order. GameDayExcursions.com. We'll see what that Notre Dame game is going to look like. I have a feeling this is a weird year. We're going to be doing lots of emotional swings. It was good to talk to Willie there. He's obviously in a good mood. Saw progress in his football team. And, you know, it's a perfect example of that. We may have mentioned it earlier in the show, Tom, is that 2 weeks ago, towards the end of the Syracuse game, I thought, well, Northern Illinois is a bit of a coin flip. Louisville's a loss. Miami's a loss, and thank God for the bye. Now, as the week went on, I felt a little bit better about our chances of covering against Northern Illinois, and we did. And then I watched a lot of the Louisville-Virginia game. Louisville's got a problem on their hands. Now, I'm not saying we're in a position to go kick anybody's ass, but we could easily go win that game. We're favored to win that game. It wouldn't be stunning if Florida State won that game. Bobby Petrino's got some problems, and since I'm not there covering that team, you know, we may reach out to Mark Ennis this week. He does a great job covering that team and knows the ins and outs. And, in fact, it's not we may, we will. I think that Bobby's in trouble. That's not a good situation at Louisville right now. I just think the whole athletic department is in a bit of a mess. Dropping 3 points against Virginia will hurt your feelings. So all of a sudden, I say all that to say this. If you continue to make progress, baby steps as it were, you could go and win and be 3-2. And what does that mean? Well, again, with reduced expectations being what they are, you would still love to find an avenue by which to make the bowl streak stand. Consecutive non-losing seasons continue to prosper in that regard. We would all be really happy given where we were, where our collective mindset was just a couple of weeks ago. So you get a win here, you got 3. You just need 3 more.
You're halfway there. You know, it's funny. I put those two things together just now. You know, and speaking with you this morning, it sounded like you had a rough weekend and you're a little bit haggard. And now I understand why. Because you watched Louisville, Virginia, and it was the experience of watching that football game that set you back a little bit. And I understand that because from afar, watching on the bottom line, I said, whoo.
Not a good game.
That looks like an ACC special.
No, this is the byproduct of just not sleeping well last night. And I went to bed early because it was evident that Detroit was going to beat New England.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I just had one of my nights that I'm prone to for whatever reason, where my body decides 3 a.m., we're up, baby, let's go. I think it's anytime I'm going to interview Willie Taggart like we just did, or any coach or anything that's going to be part of the show later, we do those early in the morning. And I can't find a way, not that people should care. I mean, there are worse problems in the world. I can't turn my brain off if I have a test, if I have something that's happening early in the morning, whatever it might be. I don't know if you were that way when you were in school, but I was always that way where I'd have nightmares about missing it, and I can't be late for the Willie Taggart interview. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden, my brain pops up and says, why don't we get up? Why don't we start prepping for that right now? God, guys, it's 3.
8 a.m. pregame shows.
Yeah.
Used to do that to me.
Oh, yeah, because you'd have to go set everything up at 6 something in the morning.
I'd be at the station by 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just wears on you. Eyes pop open at 2 and 3 and 4. So, yeah.
Once I actually just ended up going to the station, I set an alarm, and I slept in the studio. I was like, you know what?
I've done it.
It's already 11 o'clock. I might as well just be there. So let's go to sleep.
I've hosted 6 a.m. national shows where I realized you can't be late. I mean, and I've just come in here at 4 and been like, well, I'll set the alarm for an hour and a half from now. Not because I was out, because I woke up, couldn't fall back asleep, and just went, screw it, I'm going to go there, show prep, maybe lay on a little cot in the back and just get ready.
We could use a mattress back here. Maybe a pillow top from your friends at MyPillow.
MyPillow.com. So anyhow, the point is, I don't know what to think about what's going to happen the rest of the way. I know that we are severely hamstrung. But we ran 54 plays in the first half. You heard me just talking about that to Willie. This, after having heard him say we were probably going to have to slow things down. No. What happens when you don't have a negative play on first down? I'm not talking about a good play. Just don't have a negative play. 2nd and 9 and 2nd and 8 instead of 2nd and 13 and 14. You give yourself a fighting chance at converting third down. And that was the big thing. They converted third downs because they were third and manageable. They weren't 3rd and 15 like they've been so frequently. So it's little steps. I know they beat their head into a brick wall, as I think Corey tweeted out and others were saying on Twitter during the game. Partly, again, I don't think they trusted once Bello went down that they could protect him, that they could protect the quarterback in a passing situation.
Well, it's a tale of two halves. I mean, outside of that first drive where you get lucky twice. You get lucky on the throw over the middle and then the one to Gavin, which looked just like the Carlos Williams play from Miami in 2014. You really walk away with the fewest number of points you can. I'll allow for that first drive, 7, where there should be maybe 0.
Maybe 3.
But maybe 3. But then after that,
the 13 play and the 8 play drive, they're good-looking drives, save for a lucky play.
The Jaquez fumble and then the high snap. Yeah. You get 3 out of it because Willie is right on top of it to call a timeout and not throw his headset down or anything like that. And save us the time for Aguayo to make the kick, which is great. That's great clock management. If you're going to kill him for the situational management of Syracuse second quarter, then you've got to laud how in command he was of this time because that is a freak play.
And I would note that we should all bravo Ricky for becoming Ricky again. Thank you for making some kicks. I mean, that changes momentum. When you get points in that situation, you kind of light on your feet jogging into the tunnel there.
Yeah, you neutralize the mistake.
Yeah.
Maybe you walk away with 7 on that drive, maybe you don't, but Eberle feels better about himself.
Yeah, you get the 3. All right.
He's the only guy who can snap the ball even close to DeAndre, so he needs to be in there play to play.
Apparently.
But the second half, it just was a tale of two halves. I honestly thought in the third quarter, in the flow of the game, that they looked like they were just working on stuff because things were so secure. Injury or not, it looked like they were trying to work on some things and work out some issues in the running game. And then the next thing you know, it's a close game. And you need a kid to step out of bounds before it gets really, really close.
Yeah, you can't which by the way, they really got their rewards here from the football gods that they weren't getting in any of the first 3 games. The 2 plays you're talking about early and then that play. But frankly, that's kind of the reward in that was great defense. That would have been a fluke BS touchdown. That kid's just running around like an ass. Everybody's covered.
Pass rush needs work.
Well, listen, I'm going to say it now. Brian Burns isn't any good. So what are we doing? Listen, you got to play him. I don't think you have another option. He has 0 moves. He's too light. He's quick. And if he can beat you off the line, he can make a play. If he can't, he is stoned. And I don't mean high. I mean once somebody gets their hands on him, he has no secondary moves. And when I say isn't any good, I know people quickly, I'm talking about if you're projecting. No, that doesn't project. He's not. There's nothing unique about him other than he's quick off the ball.
Right. Once again, it goes back to the fall camp thing. If you hear anybody's dominating in fall camp, just think that it might be because the curve is so low.
Well, I was going to say, he dominating this line proved to be incredibly easy for the most average of players, evidently. And so, sure. I mean, we've seen some guys dominate this group that don't have Brian Burns' physical tools. So,
well, and this is something that I guess is just contagious from last year. But anytime we call an exotic, there are a few examples where we do get home, but it seems to take forever for the player, be it a defensive back or a linebacker, to trigger and actually come in at full speed.
There were a couple times it worked this game, though.
Myers got through one.
Yeah.
He tried to mess it up on the one where he actually got home. But, yeah, it just – I get it. It worked a couple of times. And some of the calls, I'm like, ooh, that's what you got for me, Harlan. That's a cool call.
I love the calls. I love the aggressiveness. I think there's a lot going on with this defense that's really positive. They could use an upgraded personnel in some areas that are going to continue to hinder this team. But I like the mentality. I like where they're going physically. I like the way they play against the run. I like the way they play in the red zone. There's a lot of things I like about this group.
There are. I feel mixed but optimistic about them.
Yeah, that's what I
think,
mean. If you get some upgrades,
they will blow a coverage now. But there's enough heart and there's enough want to, especially against the run. I mean, 7 yards or whatever the hell it is, 6 yards for Northern Illinois on Saturday. If your creed is something, you better be able to do that something.
And they have every game.
Yeah, and it stopped the run.
They have every game. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
For a limited time, receive up to a $400 trade-in bonus when you upgrade to a select Carrier home comfort system. Plus, you can now quickly and easily schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device at VeranoAC.com. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Verano Heating and Air. It's that easy. Florida license CAC 057652.
The All-Team All-American Tailgate Party is coming to Four Points Hotel in Tallahassee Saturday morning, 8:30 to 11:30, September 29. Hello, I'm Brian Cerny, host of Tallahassee Talks. Join me for prizes, giveaways, and a fantastic buffet as we broadcast our entire show from the Bronze Ballroom, including an earlier recorded conversation with legendary coach Bobby Bowden. $5 at the door benefits the North Florida Red Cross. Find out more at TallahasseeTalks.com. Brought to you by Sellers Tile. Every day, Sellers makes life a little better for homeowners, helping them find the best design ideas for their homes with the best quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring. Even mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions are at their fingertips in their remarkable showroom. Maybe it's time for you to get the Sellers advantage for your home or office. Find them on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com. For style, quality, and design, get the Sellers advantage. In Tallahassee, call 656-8453. free.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan, and it's time to roll out the 2018s to make room for the 2019s. So if you've been waiting for a model year-end deal, then come to Kraft Nissan today while the selection is good. We call it Pick 6 Savings, as in all 2018 Rogues, Altimas, Pathfinders, and Muranos are $6,000 off. So pick a Rogue, pick an Altima, pick a Pathfinder, or pick a Murano, and take $6,000 off, and that's what you pay. From S model to Platinum models, all models $6,000 off, and only at Kraft Nissan. And all Titan and Titan XD full-size pickup trucks are $10,000 off. Regular cab, extended cab, crew cab, gas or diesel, all 2018 Titans are $10,000 off. And we will give you $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. That's $10,000 off all Titans and $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade, or a total of $12,000 in discounts on every Titan we sell at Kraft Nissan. But you better hurry. Pick 6 Savings end Monday. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco.
Headed to the new Gordos, 'cause Eddie hit a home run just like the old Gordos. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Jeff, I'm sitting right here, man. Why do you always speak about me in the third person?
Loving the new Gordos.
You gotta quit singing, man.
Got the outside deck. When the weather shifts, I'm gonna sit outside at the new Gordos.
Are we ever gonna get there? Can you speed up, please?
Lots of TVs.
1460 Market Street.
Woohoo!
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Word on the street, my friend, is the great one that you hear in the background right there. Mr. Tom Waits is about to have something new released in the not-too-distant future.
Oh, really?
I'm pumped. He's a guest. He did a duet with somebody here recently that I've yet to hear, but I hear is very good. Because it's Tom Waits, it's got to be really good. It always is.
So he's releasing music, not like a beer or something like that, or a
no,
Tom Waits scotch?
Yeah, no, it's not Tom Waits scotch or cigarettes or a painting, or it's not him in a new movie, which he's been in. It's always freaky in movies, which you would expect.
Well, I would expect if you let that song roll, I think the kids would have nightmares.
But it's so great. I love the twisted mind of Tom Waits. That said, tonight at Bumpos, come join us, enjoy some pro football, not college football. You see how long it's been since I could promote a big-time pro football game involving the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Like a pro football watch party. How about that?
It's just a default that I say college, but in fact, the more interesting brand right now and certainly team to watch in the state of Florida is either the Miami Dolphins or Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not you, Jacksonville, after falling on your face to sorry-ass Tennessee. Thanks for the 6 points, Blake. Good Lord.
Yeah, the Buccaneers offense is exciting.
Very.
You know, it's like NFL offenses, they're exciting around the league. There's about 6 or 7 of them that are fun to watch. And how many years do we complain about the homogenous nature of NFL offenses?
Things will get turned around. I mean, it's weird. I mean, we're seeing it right now. It's fun, but the league always does adjust, and we'll see when it happens. But right now, it's an exciting time to watch the NFL. Come join us tonight at Bumpers Local 349. Let's enjoy a watch party together, shall we? Perfect game for it. It's also a couple of things we got to get done before we do that. Let's go to probables. Before we get to probables, I say let's go to probables. Before we get to probables, Tom.
That's why I never commit to the trigger finger, you know? Like, I got to wait. I got to be like that good police officer. I'm like, hang on. Wait a minute.
Here's the deal. You're right, I'm wrong. I just got carried away. It's the final week of the regular season. The postseason picture has become a bit clearer with 2 clubs. So now the D-backs are eliminated. My Pirates were officially eliminated over the weekend, but they were already eliminated after the Sunday result. But here's what you have: the Astros padded their lead in the American League West with a victory over the Angels, coupled with an Athletics loss to the Twins. Houston now leads Oakland by 4.5 games with a magic number of 3 to clinch the division title. Oakland didn't lose ground in the race for the AL wildcard spot, however, as the Yankees lost to the Orioles in New York, keeping the gap at just 1.5 games.
That matters.
It does matter.
Getting on a plane and going across the country really matters.
Meanwhile, in the National League, the Dodgers and Rockies won, and Los Angeles, unfortunately, enters the final week of the season, a 1.5 games up on the Rockies. Come on, Rockies. The Brewers and Cards also won, meaning Milwaukee maintained a 2-game lead over St. Louis for the top NL wildcard spot, while St. Louis maintained a 1.5 game advantage over Colorado for the second wild card spot. The Cubs were also victorious, and they cling to a 2.5-game lead in the Central entering the final week.
There's a lot of teams still very interested in what happens this week, even if they're clinched because of what you're talking about. Home field for a wild card game, or even if you're the Atlanta Braves, which clinched the NL East, and I know that's where you're going.
That's exactly where I was going.
Seeding for next week matters greatly. And for me, I'm personally, as being a selfish programmer, I'm rooting for the Braves to match up against the Dodgers, right? And the Dodgers have a better record. So that means they play the DS on the West Coast. So when we carry those games, they don't conflict with us, because that's what happens in the division series is you have games in the middle of the damn afternoon, and we have contractual obligations, sir. So that's where I'm rooting.
I understand it. And, oh, by the way, my condolences to Rays fans everywhere. You're not done yet, but you're one Oakland win away from being done, win away. And that's a damn shame, because with that payroll in that division, which is insane, the Rays have a chance at this point to win 90 games and go nowhere. Man, that hurts. That hurts in a way that upsets me. And I'm not, I like the Rays because we're from the area, but
maybe you should make the playoffs on a win per dollar basis, because then the Rays would be the number 1 seed.
It's crazy. They would also win the AL Central, though. That's why I feel bad for them. I mean, screw the Indians. They'd win the division. That's just brutal, man.
I believe that's what Andrew Jackson said.
Well played. Well played. Good on you, Braves. As Tom just mentioned, 88 and 68. One game better than the Rays. But again, good on you. And they're good. Everybody's set. This is good. It's going to be fun.
Just can't believe it. The Nationals. I thought they were going to win that division. I thought that was a sure thing, sir. My goodness.
Dodgers need to falter as they had the good fortune of facing the Padres yesterday and winning 14-0. That'll hurt your feelings. Probables, cue it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Should note, I think we're going to do some postseason MLB watch parties as well coming up. We're got a couple of different things brewing there.
All right.
Yeah.
Some baseballs in the air?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that action, man. I love a little postseason baseball.
Okay.
Marlins, Nats, you don't care, I'm skipping it. Stros, Jays, you don't care, I'm skipping it. Orioles, Red Sox, well, you care about the Stros? Okay. Dallas Keuchel, Marco Estrada.
So am I allowed to root against the Braves if we're at these watch parties? Even though it's against our own monetary interest?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be.
Yeah.
I actually like this bunch.
They're a likable team, but screw them, They're the Braves.
Depends on who they're matched up against, I'll decide.
Well, if they're in danger of winning something, no, we got to pump the brakes here.
Orioles, Red Sox, Dylan Bundy, Nathan Eovaldi, Yankees and the Rays. The Rays are going to throw Diego Castillo. The Yankees are undecided. My Pirates take on the Cubs. Jameson Taillon, who's been great, will go against Cole Hamels. We'll try to help you out, Brewers. Indians, White Sox, Corey Kluber, Dylan Covey. We got the Brewers and the Cardinals. Dan Jennings, Jack Flaherty. There you go. There's
buddy.
your matchup.
Yeah.
That's the game. Phillies, Rockies, Zach Eflin. Lay down, Zach. Lay down. Let John Gray have his day.
Stay down, Rock.
There you go. Rise up, Robbie Ray and the D-backs. Take out Clayton Kershaw, the Dodgers.
Woo!
Great game.
Heavyweight tilt.
Yeah, I'm going to skip some of these other matchups. I'll get to you. A's, Mariners, Daniel Mengden and James Paxton. And nobody cares about the Padres and the Giants, so it doesn't matter. And that's your look at those that shall reside on the bump. Front Row Knowles, first look up next. Then it's the Bucks at 7 o'clock. We'll be at Bumpa's Local 349 to watch Monday Night Football. Hopefully you'll join us. Buccaneers Steelers should be a lot of fun. We'll see you there around 8 o'clock. Let's go Bucks. Good work out of you, Tom. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan, and it's time to roll out the 2018s to make room for the 2019s. So if you've been waiting for a model year-end deal, then come to Kraft Nissan today while the selection is good. We call it Pick 6 Savings, as in all 2018 Rogues, Altimas, Pathfinders, and Muranos are $6,000 off. So pick a Rogue, pick an Altima, pick a Pathfinder, or pick a Murano, and take $6,000 off, and that's what you pay. From S model to Platinum models, all models $6,000 off, and only at Kraft Nissan. And all Titan and Titan XD full-size pickup trucks are $10,000 off. Regular cab, extended cab, crew cab, gas or diesel, all 2018 Titans are $10,000 off. And we will give you $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. That's $10,000 off all Titans and $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade, or a total of $12,000 in discounts on every Titan we sell at Kraft Nissan. But you better hurry. Pick 6 Savings end Monday. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco.
Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in, or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4, 5, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee, upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
Hey, y'all, I'm Blake Shelton.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Kelly Clarkson.
The Voice is back with me, Jennifer Hudson, Adam Levine.
And the reigning champ, moi.
No chance Kelly's going to win again. I'm calling it right now. I'm winning this season. I'm not going to sit here and talk about the fact that I've won The Voice 6 times.
Not last year when I arrived, I won. Say my name, Blake.
Queen Kelly. Be there when I reclaim the title that's rightfully mine.
Watch Team Kelly on The Voice on NBC.
The blind auditions begin tonight on NBC.